I'm so pissed. I'm normally really, it sounds a bit bad to say, but I'm normally really good at March Madness.
Yeah.
I effing suck this year.
Have you looked at the
like dog
could
shit
be
suck
good this year? And by the way, I should clarify. My brother-in-law's got me so into it. I was talking about wrestling.
Oh, you were meaning the wrestling side.
I was just kidding. But I actually have been watching a lot more of the wrestling.
And I'm really mad because every year, because of Neville, I'm like, gosh, I was going to do great this year.
Dude,
I picked them to win, and every year
Iowa got killed.
They look
terrible.
Yeah, my bracket's terrible.
So yeah, even have Neville's mug again.
Well, Arizona,
this mug.
Arizona's
dropping, and then UVA dropping. Like, there's no way anyone got those right yesterday. There's no way.
I don't know why I ever bet against an Ivy League school, because every year one of those Ivy League schools makes a run.
It's crazy.
Yeah, Furman was crazy.
Which leaves the question: what is it about those teams?
Big brain basketball.
Yeah, they're smart. They know
That's
statistics.
Big brain.
Do they just have a better game plan going into that game?
Yeah, I think so.
Because they always
they have nothing to lose, man.
And if I remember correctly, they went on an 8-0.
Because they're the underdog, you know.
You mean they're all going to corporate jobs?
Like really good,
so it doesn't matter.
solid corporate jobs.
They ain't going to the NBA, so let's just be honest.
Let's just say they're walking into director level immediately. But no, man, there's no way somebody picked that. You know what I mean? Like,
I would have never guessed Virginia and Arizona in
the same day. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's been fun though. It feels like the last few years it's just a complete toss-up. Other than the Mountain West, they're going to lose.
Every
Other
time.
than San Diego State made it through, but Utah
Barely.
State and Boise State.
Yeah, I also picked Utah. I'm like, man.
Well, I had to because I went to school there, but even as I did it, I was like, nope.
But I legit did a ton of research on Utah, and I was like, dude, I think they are legit better ball team. They were going to win. And then they just disappointed me.
Well, in classic Utah fan style, being from Utah, I blame the refs.
Of course, man.
They had about a 4-minute stretch there.
Have you guys watched the wrestling at all, though?
I blame the winner kill.
The winner kill.
That's what I blame the winner kill.
They've been dealing with the hard
That's why they're
winter.
messed up.
They can't
go shed hunting, so they're all
Well, they're
upset
just stressed,
and not
man.
playing
They're dealing
basketball.
with the same conditions that the animals
You
are.
do get that inversion in Logan. It's pretty depressing up there this time of year.
The endorphins are low.
But what about wrestling?
Do you guys watch the wrestling at all?
No.
I don't even know what's going on.
No.
They do the same bracket style.
Really?
It's so awesome.
Can you win $1 billion for the
No,
bracket?
you can't do that. But it's very fast. Like they'll be done. So they started on Thursday. They'll be done by Saturday night, tomorrow night.
Like WWE wrestling?
No. College, NCAA.
Oh, college wrestling. Okay,
The Rock.
cool. Yeah, I don't.
No, college
Sports.
wrestling. It's dude, the amount of so they go to wrestling goes to sudden death overtime. So just first one to score. It is fucking awesome.
Oh, dang.
I don't understand the point system.
Just right before I walked in here, they went sudden death. And the guy, so it was Penn State versus, I can't even remember the other guy. But it was 1-1 going into overtime. They went into the first overtime, no points scored. So it's 1-1 going into second overtime. The other guy secured the riding time. So if you have enough top control, it'll count. Whoever wins that top control wins a point at the end. So has riding time secured. There's 8 seconds left. And Penn State does a wild move. Like grabs his head down to the feet, gets it up. 1 second left, 2-point takedown wins.
Is that
the coolest overtime. My brother-in-law's got me fully into this
Is
wrestling.
it pretty
right now.
cut and dry? Like,
The scoring?
Yeah.
Once you learn, yeah.
because you have a ref, right?
Well, I have my brother-in-law to.
You have a ref that grants points.
Oh, yeah.
You'll
You
see
can
the
see
ref
him.
kind of circle him, and he'll be like,
he wears green and red on his wrist, so you'll see which guy he's giving points to.
Gotcha.
But I mean, it's kind of cheating for me that I got my brother-in-law to explain it to me, so I learned it very quickly.
Yeah.
But dude,
Clearly,
it's
I have
awesome.
no idea about wrestling.
And he's got the, he manages all those guys, all the fighters and all that
And
stuff.
he wrestled collegiately, right?
Yeah. And he
Arizona
wrestled.
State?
He's a 4-time state champ on a broken leg.
Oh, dang.
He's a stud. But he's got the number one guy out of Penn State, RBY, Roman Bryce Young or something like that. He's got the number one guy signed. He's going to go with Randall and start fighting. So it's cool to watch him. I think he's 131 pounds or 130 something.
Does he watch that almost as like a recruitment? He's looking for guys to potentially bring into the
100%.
Is that the next move for?
That's where he specializes because he's a wrestler.
Yeah, but you're like a collegiate wrestler. I mean, that's kind of it for you, right? I mean,
You either go to fighting or you're done.
You go to
the
fighting
Olympics.
or you go to the Olympics,
Yeah,
which
or
you're done.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're
where
done.
you might get a gold
It's
medal.
really
out of
shitty
it.
that they don't have like a real outlet. You know what I mean?
No league.
Yeah.
WWF.
A lot of
WWE
them,
now,
a lot
right?
of them do go. A lot of them do go WWE though.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of them do.
Why?
which is pretty incredible.
Because
You ever
money.
watched
I mean,
it?
that's where they can go make a
No, I
living.
do not watch it.
Me and my littlest kid, maybe 2 weeks ago, sat down. We watched what was it, like a
WrestleMania?
WrestleMania, or maybe like a Friday night. Was it Raw? Something.
Friday Night Raw?
Raw. Feels dirty to say that. I don't
It
know
does,
why, but Raw. And we watched a whole hour and a half of it.
Did you feel dumber afterwards?
No, dude, I loved it. It was awesome. It's athletic, man. Those guys are amazing, guys
Yeah.
and gals.
I thought it was all fake.
Yeah, kind of is fake, isn't it?
It is. Did you ever see the movie The Wrestler?
No.
You got to see it.
But
good
yeah,
movie. Good movie.
I'm back now looking at my bracket. So Trail is
Bottom?
No, wait, where's Trail at? Did you move up?
Like
Yesterday, I was
Yeah,
at
Trail, you're tied for 8th. I'm 12th.
Oof.
you want some of this
I
Conquer?
only
by
have
the way?
11.1% right of the picks. Last year I had like 87%. No, wait, let me look it up right now.
That's
Last year
terrible.
I got 85% of the picks right. I'm at 11% this year.
Oh, that
Yikes.
is terrible.
Just terrible.
Who do you have going all the way? Who's your pick?
Houston.
Houston.
Yeah.
This
They
Apex
played a
Conquer
close
is
game
legit.
last night.
I
Best
did.
podcast PED on planet Earth.
And I'm
And
really
hunting PED.
really always nervous too because Gonzaga always ends up screwing me over.
The
towards
Zags.
end. Yeah.
I took Indiana all the way.
I figured everything.
So I've Gonzaga in the Final Four, but I don't know.
Like Gable Steveson from Minnesota. Have you guys heard of that? He went to WWE. He's like the best wrestler ever.
We're
of
back
all
on
time,
wrestling?
heavyweight. Well, I couldn't remember his name, so I looked it up.
I was
But
trying to get us off wrestling really
no,
quickly.
he went WWE, and he's doing well. My brother-in-law manages him too.
Cool. Very cool.
I couldn't remember his name, so I had to bring that back full circle. I blacked out there for a second.
We got March Madness. We're in full effect, and we got Marchery Madness.
Yes.
coming up
Dude.
next week.
Can you explain what we're doing for Marchery?
Yeah.
Marchery Madness?
We thought it'd be fun to do an archery tournament in the warehouse. Well, is Porter's here? He's gonna
We
be
are
here
not
next
doing
week.
it. We are not doing it in the warehouse.
Not doing it in the warehouse. We're doing it off,
We are not
off
doing it
location in a
during
warehouse
office
that
hours.
looks surprisingly like ours. But, yeah,
It's
we're
very
gonna,
similar to ours, which is odd, but yeah.
yeah, we're gonna do an archery shoot next week. Next Tuesday, we got 16 shooters, so Sweet 16. We got an iron buck.
Cody Bohr hooked us
Cody
up.
Bohr hooked us up.
Yeah, that
Big-
thing is sweet.
I was we should have done some AR 500 steel on that bad boy so we could use that also as a rifle target.
There you go. Muzzleloader.
There's
We should have doubled it up.
there's your thinking right there.
But we were talking to Cody yesterday. We might be able to put that bad boy out at like 700-800 yards and then be able to shoot
Still
it
be able
without,
to smoke
without
it.
blowing
And ruin
through
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because right now it has that hole in it.
Yeah.
But we could just make some swing out thing in the back
Yeah.
of it so that we could hit it with the rifle and then it would swing out and come back in.
That'd be pretty sweet.
So
Yeah.
you got the iron buck.
Yeah, we're
What
gonna
else?
do it. We're gonna do a shoot down. We got 16 of us. Like I said, we're gonna seed everybody based on a survey.
How are we seeing?
We sent out a random survey that said, "How long have you been shooting a bow and arrow?" And then from
that's the seeding?
When's that survey been sent out?
yeah, you got it right.
Did I get it? I don't think
Yeah,
I got
Katie
it.
sent it to you. It was one of your questions in your questionnaire.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I made a long
You've been
ass-
shooting it for a long time, so you got a high seed.
You should have a high seed.
Yeah, but what we're gonna do first round, 16 seed, 1 seed. Top 4 matches, we're gonna handicap them a little bit. So the top seed's gonna have to shoot 2 arrows for the one guys. The lower seed's 1 arrow. And we're gonna start at 20, back it up 5 yards at a time, and then we're gonna go to Elite 8, and then a Final 4, and then a championship.
Where do you envision yourself going? How far do you think you're going to get?
Oh, I don't know. It's tough to, I don't know. I haven't
It's
shot
a
that
what
much.
is what's the whole 5-inch?
5-inch.
It's 5-inch hole. Yeah, we're gonna start at 20 and back it all the way to 55-ish.
So you don't know. How far do you think I'm going to go? And just for reference,
I think you start off against Branson. So
Oh, you're good there.
I think you're golden because
just for reference, I haven't shot my bow since TAC Park City last year.
here's the thing
Yeah.
with something
you're
like
a
that.
detailed guy, though. You'll
I
be
could
fine.
probably, it's like riding a bike.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, a 5-inch hole is too big, but I'm like, probably most of these people have never shot in front of somebody else, so
Yeah.
it's like that
Right.
that
Well,
little bit of nerves.
And then you have the camera on, and then you have
The
the
camera.
iron buck. And
My
already
mentality being a just in the kill zone kind of guy. Like I'm a killer. I'm not a shooter. So it's like I'm going for kill zone. Wherever I can fit that arrow into the kill zone, I am definitely not like a spot shooter.
Yeah.
Like a traditional target shooter. So I got no clue how I'm going to do in this.
Who's your
No
picks?
clue.
Who are you picking?
I was going to pick Barnett. Honestly,
He's dropped out.
I know he dropped out.
Why did he drop out?
He got scared.
No, he had some family stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. So he has to stay back.
Yeah, he
in
was talking
seat.
to
So
me
Barnett
today,
dropped
that's how
out.
he dropped out.
I'm picking Brandon.
Brandon's always a sleeper.
He's a good shooter, man.
Brandon's
always a
a
sleeper.
mellow guy from top to bottom. He's real even kill. And I think last time we shot all together up at the range. I think we shot really good.
Yep.
Do you still shoot tension release?
Yeah.
Even at something like this?
Yeah.
Really?
Still shooting.
I'm shooting my tension on this.
Really?
That's about all I shoot.
I can't do it any other way because I got the TP so bad.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
And this is probably amplifies it because, like, even in my mind, like
guys.
I've never thought about target panic, never had it, never
Yeah,
thought
same.
about
Why'd
it.
you even say the word? That's
Sorry.
why I said
TP.
TP.
He's
Sorry.
got TP right now just for saying it.
But yeah, but I did like looking at the iron buck. I'm like, holy shit, man, this is like a real spot shot.
Yeah, so everyone right now in our Slack thread kept talking about the iron buck. And if you're already talking about the iron buck, we've been
It's in your
joking
head.
privately.
Yeah.
It's already in their head. They're already out.
Hey, I'm a mental midget. It's in my head.
I think
It's
the funny,
for sure in my head.
the funniest thing is just like the level of excitement that's perked up in the office
Yeah.
the last week. All the guys around
Healthy
the horseshoe,
competition, yeah.
everybody's talking about it. Adam was out shooting this morning. I think Garrett is borrowing a bow from Jared, so that might be kind of fun. But yeah, it'd be fun. Next week we're gonna.
I might
film
actually dust off my bow and practice this weekend.
that. Nice. I got to sight mine.
I'm
in.
staying true to my. I'm staying true to my.
You just
game.
go with it. You
I'm just
gotta go
going.
from the
I'm
heart.
showing up
Yep.
fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be fun. Look forward to that. So look, we're gonna do a YouTube video.
And
about
like I
that.
said, I only have 4 arrows, so little added pressure.
You sound like me with my bow.
Yeah. But March Madness, a little our take on March Madness.
I was joking the other day, but I really wish I had access to a crossbow. I was going to bring a crossbow.
That would be
in.
funny.
That would
Because
be
there's,
funny.
there's nothing in the rules I've seen that said I can't bring a crossbow.
How accurate do you think you would be standing
very.
no rest with a crossbow?
It'd be pretty tough.
I think it'd be still pretty tough.
I think,
Yeah.
I think
for
it
sure.
might be even harder.
Might be.
Especially with
Do you
have,
guys
like,
ever
scope
shot
on
a
it.
crossbow?
I've never
I've
shot
never
one.
shot
Never
one.
shot a
I've never
crossbow.
shot one.
What's your take on using crossbows during archery
They should be
season?
100% banned during
Hey man,
archery
I got
season.
the shoulder problem though.
I don't care.
I got this shoulder thing. So like
100%
when I draw
banned.
my
You're
once
not
in a
here
lifetime
for it.
sheep
I'm not
tag
here
in
for it.
Colorado in an archery only unit, I got this thing, my shoulder.
I'm not here for it. I don't,
So you think they should be able to use them during like any weapon
during
seasons?
your rifle season, sure.
Gotcha. That's kind of where I land as well.
I agree.
I was just curious.
Totally agree. But
Since,
like
since you brought up crossbow.
Yeah.
the loophole of if I ever did draw that Colorado tag, I want archery only. I mean, I did have a left shoulder replacement. I could definitely bend the rules. I could definitely play by the rules and gain some accuracy and some yardage.
'Cause
But
if
I
that-
totally
if that-
agree. It's like it's bow, it's drawback compound bow, and that's as
I'm
far
just
as
gonna
it
play
goes.
devil's advocate here. If I drew a sick tag and you could supposedly use a crossbow,
Yeah.
it would almost benefit you to go out and mess up your shoulder. And
Yeah.
get a doctor's note just to
on.
use it.
Yeah.
Like I bet there's some
honestly-
psychos out there would probably do it. That
Yeah.
gaining that edge.
I don't
Like
know.
if you
man.
could you could sit there on a rest and shoot 100 yards.
Well, like everybody's got a doctor to write a note. You know, what I
Yeah,
mean?
like it's
you got a guy.
it's a scary slope you're playing with
Everyone's-
here.
I agree. I don't think they should be. I don't think they should be in an any legal. That's how I
any
feel.
legal
Just
weapon.
my 2 cents.
Wyoming still allows them, I think, for archery seasons. I think the
For
biggest bull.
anybody or for doctors?
No, I
that
think
one
anybody.
big bull.
Disabled.
Really.
Yeah. No, I think anybody. I think one of the biggest bulls in the state of Wyoming that was killed during archery season was killed with a crossbow a few years ago. It was like
Wow.
410. Yeah, big bull.
I just worry about people driving down road hunting and like
Yeah.
sticking out the window and shooting something. That's just
Nobody
like
does
outside. Yeah,
No,
I know,
it's not
right?
fun.
Not in Utah.
I've never seen that. Nor in New Mexico either.
Hey, when
Yeah.
you go on a deer hunt in Utah and like
You see
one
the
of the
guys in
first
the back of the
vehicles
truck?
you see is a couch in the back of the truck,
Yeah.
a love seat. Yeah.
I always laughed every time I'm up on a mountain glassing when I was archery hunting in Utah, and you see that, and you're like, "What the
Yeah.
f is going on?" Like,
I remember
it's not
one,
legal, but they're doing it,
Yeah.
and no one's catching them.
one of my
It's
very
Utah, man.
first memories of archery deer hunting in Utah. I was sitting up on this knoll, glass down. I could see the road, and I could see this guy poking along, and I could see this 3-point buck bedded up underneath the ledge, probably 110 yards off the road. And I see this guy pull up. He stops, looks at it. I'm like, oh, he's just going to give this buck a look. Nope, grabs the bow. That guy sent 3 arrows at that buck at 100.
that's
It was
awesome.
well over 100 yards, but he was just casting. He was Wrangler jeans and a t-shirt. Was
You
pretty,
think he had a
That's what I'm
100-yard
talking
pin, or
pretty
he's
funny.
just
I
guessing
highly
holdovers?
not then, man. Not 20 some years ago. Yeah.
Just gonna send it.
He
Just
was
send it.
just casting arrows. Yeah, just ruin them. But
Can't kill him unless there's something in the air.
That's right.
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Well, we should get off archery and get on to the muzzleloaders.
The actual reason we're here?
Yeah.
we got a special guest today.
Mr. Ryan Gentry himself.
What's up, dudes?
Ryan the Creature.
Yeah.
The creature.
That was the first thing I wanted to ask.
Yeah,
What's the
it-
name? It's
so
a great,
I kinda-
great handle.
Yeah, I gathered that from a deployment I was on. It was a nickname, and it just kind of stuck. And I'm like, sounds good. I don't like putting my personal information out there much on the gram.
That's why I had to ask him again if
Besides
I could
went
say
with
his
that
name
one.
on the podcast.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that top secret?
No, it's definitely not.
Classified, top secret.
I wish no one knew who
Is
I
that
was sometimes.
Is
but
that
yeah.
classified? Ryan Gentry.
No, it's out there. Public knowledge.
So he's also co-owner of Blackhorn Guide Service.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Blackhorn Guide Service out of New Mexico. Me and Cole Johnson, one of my best friends, started that together. We had been guiding for quite a few years, and we kind of just got tired of guiding for people we didn't jive with. So we're like, you know what? We could do this way better.
Yeah.
So
What do you specialize in New Mexico? Any and all, or what?
Anything. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as it pains me to say it, we're really good with Aoudad, and I hate Aoudad, but we're really good.
Hate
I
Aoudad.
hate
Please
'em.
explain.
Yeah, we're really
we just got done talking
Yeah.
about
Why do you hate them? I think
We
they're
love
super
'em.
cool.
They're really cool animals, and they're really awesome. But I'm not a big fan of non-native species, especially in an area where it's hurting the deer and the bighorn.
Oh man, I got
Yeah.
beef.
Yeah. So I mean,
Come on.
it's a great money maker. I enjoy hunting them. I enjoy
respect
killing
that,
them.
though.
Let
I
me-
respect
I do
that
respect it,
opinion.
yeah.
Let me kick back on that. So you've got bighorn sheep, right?
Right.
I mean, what's the projection of bighorn sheep across the landscape in the West? Is it good or bad?
Not good.
Ooh, I would say it's marginal at best.
It's marginal at best,
Yeah,
right?
marginal
but
at
what's the prospect of Aoudad?
Phenomenal.
Amazing, right?
I mean, that's the problem.
So you're saying again we need to do a bunch of bucket biology and we should start dropping these
I
things
mean, what
all
I'm
across
saying
the
is I
West?
drive through the gorge when I come down to Vegas, and we've got sheep on either sides of it. You know,
Yeah.
you've got sheep in Utah, which I like. I like bighorn sheep too, but like I'll never hunt them. You won't ever hunt them.
No.
You know,
True.
you probably
Yeah.
won't ever hunt
Yeah.
them. But if we dumped a bunch of Aoudad off in there, we'd all hunt them, right? I don't know. It's controversial, and I'm going to be probably my name's going to be dragged through the mud for saying that. But sometimes I look at that thing and just I'm like, yeah.
But I think I agree with you in a sense, though. They're here, so we might as well enjoy it. They're here. They're not going anywhere. I've been trying to kill them off for years. It ain't happening.
Yeah.
So
It is wild how hardy they are compared
they
to
really
other
are.
stuff.
I mean,
It's
they
wild.
survive better than anything
Yeah.
there is out there. So I
mean, if
I
you-
respect the animal.
If you think about it, like think about they are in 500-acre high fence places in Texas, totally docile and fine. Then they're in New Mexico, Texas, free range,
Yep.
totally fine, thriving. Like they literally can do it all. It's
Yeah.
wild how hardy they are compared to everything else. It's incredible.
I'm kidding a little bit.
A little bit. now you're
But I think it's a healthy discussion.
It
to
is a
have.
good
I think so, too.
discussion.
What it
It
gets
is.
into is the opportunity thing, right?
Yeah.
Like we all just want to go hunting. And
Right.
they're
Well,
a badass
right.
animal. They're incredible to hunt.
Yeah, and I mean, animals aren't purely on the landscape just for my enjoyment for hunting.
I guess I was go back.
Unfortunately, so
No,
I do think
that's
you.
not why.
I do think you want to protect your natives.
Yeah,
right?
and I kind of, I'm not a scientist, biologist or anything. I'm just a dude that likes shooting them. So from the science standpoint, I don't know. They may be fine. They may not be fine.
Do you think they impact deer herds?
I do. Yeah,
Really?
I think they do.
You've seen
yeah.
it?
I think,
Anecdotally,
like,
you've seen it?
particularly the area they are in New Mexico where we're at, water's scarce. Water and food is scarce. And when you've got, 45 Aoudad in each canyon, but only, 5 to 10 deer, I think
Yeah.
it really is an impact on the deer. And that's what bothers me the most is the deer. I mean, the sheep, most places they don't really commingle with the sheep. And I know they've been doing some studies in Texas. I'm not quite sure what's kind of come out of those yet. I've heard back and forth on whether it impacts the bighorn or not as far as what they've done in Texas. But
You'd think it would.
I would think it would.
You'd think there would be some cross
Yeah,
between domestic.
as far as the disease stuff, I'm
yeah.
not sure how that works.
I would
I
think
know
there
that
would be.
water sources and food matter, but I don't know if there's a whole lot of data yet on disease between Aoudad and bighorn. But and then I've been ridiculed too. They're like, oh, well, you like oryx and ibex, but you don't like Aoudad. And I'm like, well, our ibex are in one mountain range where the only other native species in there is mountain lions and
Rattlesnakes.
Yeah,
the
a
mountain
lot of
lions aren't
rattlesnakes.
pissed off about the ibex being there. So
You guys seen that
And it's
video?
holding mountain lions to that and
Correct.
not going to other mountain
Correct,
ranges.
yeah, and-
There's a positive to it as well.
So I don't see a whole lot of impact on native species with the ibex. Oryx, same thing. The oryx are out in the flats, out there on the mesa, and
I should have pulled it up beforehand. Did you see there was a news release? It was like an opinion piece mainly about oryx in general, how they're like very bad on the landscape and might have too many of them. I can't remember where I saw that.
I would say that's
It
probably
was something
true.
recently I saw. I was gonna like maybe cover it for news on GOHUNT, but I was like, it's more of an opinion piece. It's kind of diving into a lot of, I don't know if it was like national park-ish type thing.
Probably it's probably with
discussions.
White Sands.
Yeah, it was, they were talking about there's an overpopulation of them and they're really bad on the habitat and the landscape. And
Yeah. As far as impacting native wildlife, I don't know that there's a big impact to native wildlife. I mean, they're the only native wildlife they seem to commingle with is antelope down on the Otero Mesa, and I don't really think it's a big issue.
I think it was the second link you had down there, Cody.
Where are we at as far as all three of those
might be
species in
that
New
one.
Mexico. You got oryx, ibex, and Barbary.
Barbary sheep.
As far as like being the good old days, if you will, where are we at on the, on the spectrum?
Ibex is definitely kind of on the decline as far as
Really?
overall trophy quality. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you used to have some pretty big billies, 47 to 48 inches, some even pushing more than that. I would say the top end right now might be 44.
And is that just
44.
the number of permits they've allocated?
Oh, I was talking quality. So that's as far as
yeah, quality wise, quality decline. Is it? Is it population wise? Are we?
I think we're overhunting it.
Okay.
But again, it's a non-native species, so do I really care that we're overhunting it? I don't know. It's one of those things that what is overhunting a non-native species? Are we trying to manage this to maintain the species on the mountain, or do we want to maintain the cash flow to the revenue to the game?
It's a really
of
good
fish?
question. It's actually a great question.
Yeah. Just
What do we
depends
manage?
What your
what's-
objective is.
Yeah.
Right.
What about oryx? Because I hear it's like the good old days of oryx. Not true. True.
I think oryx is just as good as it's ever been.
Really?
As far as I'm concerned, yeah. From what I say, I could be way wrong.
Here
but
it is, Cody. I found it. I'll send it over
Is
to
that
you.
off range and
yeah, it's
and
off
range?
range and on the missile range. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear recently, like it seems like in the last few years, more people talking about because it used to be like on range was the tag that you wanted. If you picked up a off range permit, it was kind of hit or miss. Like, you might hear of one getting shot, every now and then. But it seems like now a lot of people are filling their permit on an off range.
I think so. And I think a lot of people put in the outfitter draw non-residents, so they that cuts the learning curve on where to find them off range when you're going with an outfitter. As far as just, as resident status go, I know a lot of us residents prefer the off range because it's a much longer hunt. Where if you draw a missile range tag, you've got 2 days.
Gotcha.
But if you're a local and you draw the off range tag, well, you got an entire month.
How are you
So,
hunting them?
Just spot and stock, glassing, kind of glassing from the
Are
truck.
you driving, glassing?
Yeah, driving desert roads, kind of getting on. We like to get in a particular area where it's got some just small little hills on it, and we get up
So
on
a
the hills.
lot,
And
a
just,
lot of like antelope hunting.
exactly like antelope hunting.
Do you guys do the whole drag the road and look for tracks?
Nah.
No.
No,
Is
I
that-
don't think.
Is that
and
a wives' tale?
Probably, or someone who just doesn't really know how to hunt them. I don't know. I don't think I've ever spent more than a day hunting oryx.
Just like an antelope hunt.
Yeah.
It's. I would love to do it. I'd love to draw that tag.
Oh man, it's fun, and they taste amazing.
That's what they
I've heard
say.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they taste
I've heard
amazing.
Yeah, Jared was saying that he had some oryx and he was gonna, I don't know what it was, had some meat he was gonna like give to someone. And his wife said no. Found out that was oryx meat. It's like, you cannot give away that oryx meat. Like, you cannot give our friend that because like that's coveted. Amazing meat. Give him some
I've
elk
heard
or
it.
whatever.
Yeah.
Instead, like
Gotcha.
oryx is important.
Incredible capes.
Incredible. Yeah,
Yes.
it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
The
really pretty
coolest-
animals.
One of the coolest capes like ever, in my opinion.
Yes.
Black, white, and gray.
Yeah.
It's
So
badass.
I found that article. I pulled it up, had Cody pull it up on the big screen. So rising oryx numbers may distress New Mexico ecosystem. This is an article from the Wildlife Society, which is a big science-based organization. So yeah, they did this little report, and I just didn't know. I haven't read into it a lot yet to figure out what the angle is on it, but I thought it was interesting when I saw it last week, just about New Mexico oryx and. how they
And
might be bad for the
they're
ecosystem.
far ranging, right? Like they'll cover ground. That's my understanding.
Yeah, they've grown quite. Their range has grown quite a bit.
Yeah.
They used to just be on the missile ranges, and then
Got off.
Yeah, they're all over the place. They're even as far up as I've seen one just south of Albuquerque.
I've never seen
which
one.
is wild. Yeah, that's way up there.
How big an animal are they?
A good mature bull is probably about a cow elk.
Okay.
Size of a cow elk, yeah. So you're getting
That's
pretty
a big animal.
Yeah,
Man, what
it's a big animal.
badass looking animal,
Yeah.
though. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's such a cool animal.
So
Here's a
cool.
good quote in this article I just saw too. Oryx may overgraze some remnant patches of desert grass. Some research shows they not only compete with cattle, causing issue for ranchers, they also have detrimental effects on the ecosystem. In the dry season in the years, oryx may focus more heavily on the grasses, causing additional stress to the ecosystem. So yeah, I'm not sure what this research is. Let me click on it and check it out.
God, what
Man,
a cool
I,
animal.
I
Look
know.
at that.
I would love to draw this tag. I hope I draw it.
Yeah, they're such a gorgeous animal.
Yeah, me too. They're just fun to hunt, man. It's just one of those like really cool. I built a platform in my Tacoma where you get up on, put a ladder on the platform and glass, because you're out in the flats and it's in those sand hills and you got the creosote and yuccas and everything that's really tall. So you just got to get a little bit of elevation on them, but and they're really cool because of course it's an African animal, so the vitals are really different.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful with that. A lot of people end up shooting them like right there in the crease of the shoulder, and they just
You got-
Too far back?
You said you gotta go
Total
further
dead
back.
spot.
Yeah.
You gotta go further back.
No, further
mid-body?
forward.
Further
So you
forward,
actually
that's
want to
right.
shoot kind of right on. So see where that black line on the leg is, where it kind of comes up?
Yeah.
Yep.
you want to shoot kind of like right there, like right above that little white spot.
Man, like,
right
almost
there.
like you're shooting around the shoulder.
Yep.
Is what it would look like.
Like
almost
low
right in the front of the shoulder.
Yeah, low front shoulder.
So that's 300 rum territory.
Yeah, they don't walk away from that.
That is kind of it's kind of a mind switch there to that low front shoulder. Like,
Yeah,
that's
because all their
never
vitals
think
are really
about.
far up and right up there, almost right in the front of the shoulder like that.
In terms of like how skittish they are.
See if you can pull up like a vitals chart. I know there's a bunch on there. Skittish, not really.
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, they're used to all the range trucks driving around.
Yeah.
And we always joke, if you're in a white truck, you can literally drive right up to them. White truck and probably just normal clothes.
Yeah, the white truck,
tell them.
oil field kind of thing.
When I bow
White
hunt,
truck and fatigues.
that's what I talk about. When I bow hunt, I just wear all green. They think I'm a park ranger. Like, I'm a friend, bud. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what to think about that
There you
little
go.
study on there, but
Oh yeah, way up forward.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, they're really, really an interesting animal.
yeah, geez, that is really far forward.
And they can take some heat too. Like, I've had a buddy, he was shooting good too.
Just look at that.
Probably 6 or 7 shots with a 7 mag, but he was just a little high. So you see where the lung is in the shoulder blade up there, and you just shoot just a little high, like you would be shooting on an elk
Dead
like
space,
that,
yeah.
and you're gonna miss. You're just gonna keep going and keep
I'm
going.
blown away with that spinal column right there. Like, look at that.
Yeah.
Wild, huh?
Look at that
Yeah,
thing.
that is bizarre. You got a huge.
It's like some prehistoric
Looks like a
antelope
dinosaur,
thing.
yeah.
We're talking about dinosaurs? I just got excited.
Looks like a dino.
Oh man.
No, even honestly, I've never hunted Africa. But if I was going to Africa, this is one of like the more exciting species
Right,
for me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, even if I was traveling all the way over there, so it's pretty cool. I mean, shit, that you got them.
Right there in New Mexico,
here,
yeah. I do want to go to Africa and shoot one in Africa now that I've got some in New Mexico. So
Yeah.
one day I'll do that. I'll go do oryx.
That's the only big game animal my mom has ever harvested. My mom shot a Gims buck
In
in
Africa?
Africa. And it was bigger than my dad's, and she always lets my dad know that. That's the only thing she's ever shot in her life, because she supports hunting, but she's
Yeah.
never been a person who wants to go kill
No,
something.
this would be top of my list in Africa. So I would love to have this tag year.
Yeah,
It'd be
for me,
cool.
I want to go over there and kill a kudu and a sable, but I couldn't go to Africa without shooting an oryx, even though I've shot 2
We're gonna
here.
redact all this because I want my draws to be decent.
Good luck with that.
How long are their horns? Like, what's a big one?
So I have a cow that was 40 inches, and then my bull was 36 inches.
What's a
really big is like 40, 42 inches.
Wow.
So
You said the cow is
my
the,
cow went
the
40.
bigger?
Yeah.
Are cows longer?
They
Just
are. They're
skinnier, but
longer and skinnier.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I couldn't tell you why. I'm sure there's some scientific reason why, but the bulls will have a really, really thick base. Now there's big bulls. I mean, there's 40-inch, 42-inch bulls out there, but I did not shoot one. I saw mine. I'm like, man, I got to shoot that thing. And it was the first time I had shot an oryx, and he looked huge to me. So
Are they hard to distinguish between male and female when you're looking at them out there?
they can be at first, but once you start to really look at them, like you'll look at the base of the horns.
I love how we always have the same question.
Oh,
I was just
sorry,
thinking about
I
that.
beat
I was
you.
just thinking that as well. Like, dude, it's got to be hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be, but of course, in good glass, I mean,
Yeah.
you can get close, and you got good glass. It's pretty easy to
Can
tell.
you get pretty close?
You can. Yeah. you
Do the
can
bulls get more textured on the bases, and the cows are a lot more?
Yeah, they seem to be.
smoother?
Well, the cows will get smoother sooner. So the cows will only have, like you see how it's got all kind of like the rings right there?
Yeah.
The cows will only go probably 4 or 5 inches up with rings, and then it gets really smooth.
Yeah.
The bulls will carry those rings quite a ways up, and the bases are real thick on a bull. Like if you're looking at them head on, you can really tell a bull because they'll just really
Yeah.
good bases,
Yeah.
where a cow will just be really skinny, kind of really narrow, kind of up and
The
down.
difference of me and Trail standing next to each other.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
One of the things I hear quite a bit is that like off-range hunts, you can have conflict with private public. Like it can be tough to navigate.
It can.
Is that
It's like
true?
anything else, yeah. But I mean, using your maps with where private, public, and range, and
Is the feasibility of catching one on public land then pretty good?
Oh, yeah,
if you've got
absolutely.
time to hunt.
yeah, absolutely. Because you got the 30 days.
Yeah.
So if you've got the time to really spend out there, and then a lot of people like to hunt range boundaries. You'll sit there right on the range boundary, and they'll move back and forth and catch them out in the BLM or in the public, and yeah, they move around quite a bit.
It's so interesting that New Mexico has this.
Yeah,
You
the
know, the
amount of
exotics,
exotics.
the free range draw system exotics.
Yep.
This is wild.
Yeah.
It's kind of when you really kind of zoom out and look at the overall opportunity of it, it's pretty insane.
And they truly are like free range. Like whereas like Texas, I mean, I know Texas, there's a lot of, you go back and forth on high fence to,
Yeah.
free range. And West Texas is really similar with a lot of the free range stuff and them being pretty wild. But in New Mexico, I mean, they're as wild as anything else out there, and it's a lot of fun chasing them down.
So you grew up in New Mexico?
I did, yeah, born and raised. So I was born in the eastern side of the state, and then kind of grew up in the central side in the mountains. So
You grew up hunting?
not really at all. So kind of had like a rough go as a kid. I would get into trouble in high school and stuff like that, and hunting was kind of that thing that, you know, my dad was so busy. I'm the oldest of 6 kids, so
Whoa.
you know, my parents were always busy, and we didn't do a whole lot of it, and I would just kind of disappear into the woods and kind of really just get out there. And I grew up in a small town, kind of, you know, south central New Mexico in the mountains, and I would just kind of take off out of the house and spend time. Me and my brothers had like this treehouse thing, and we'd hang out in there, and I'd always chase down elk. I remember even as a little kid just laying in bed at night in September. I hated September, right, because we live, you know, up in the Aspens at 8,000 feet. So September, the elk never shut up, and they're always outside my window.
First world problem.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. It's just like, golly. So I kind of, my dad never really hunted. And I think it wasn't until high school where I kind of got like, all right, I like deer hunting. Yeah, I really enjoy deer hunting.
So deer is what got you into it before?
It did, but then it kind of switched, and I really became in love with elk.
Oh,
and and so I had a really good time hunting elk. But I'm kind of as I get age, and I'm kind of bored of elk hunting, and I don't mean that like I haven't killed a whole bunch of elk, I haven't drawn a whole bunch of elk tags, but to me, something about just going out and trying to hunt a deer and find a deer in the places that deer live. I know you guys are looking at each other with this internal battle. Like,
something special.
There's just something about deer,
Yeah.
man. That
It's not a school bus on a mountain.
Yeah, not that saying elk's easy or that I've taken elk for granted. But deer's just fun. I have a lot of fun killing deer, and I can go out and shoot. I could shoot a forky or I could shoot a 180-inch buck, and I'm stoked. I'm happy. I'm having fun because I'm hunting deer. Elk, I refuse to shoot a small elk because they just don't look cool to me. I don't know. I don't mount elk. I Euro elk, and I just like I don't really like eating bulls. I'd rather shoot a cow over a smaller sub 300-inch bull. So for me, deer is that one species where no matter what size the deer is, I'm having fun with it.
Yeah.
Whether it's whitetail, coos, mule deer, something about deer. I really enjoy deer.
How's the coos doing in New Mexico, by the way?
They seem to be okay. There's not a whole lot of places, down there in the south in the Boot Hill and stuff, but they
have some opportunity.
Yeah, they have some opportunity, and we produce some really big coos deer. I think Arizona's still the authority for coos, but
still the king.
Yeah, we have really good coos deer.
Can I jump back into the exotics for a second?
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you ever looked into the tar in New Mexico?
I have, yeah.
Like every time I bring it up, people are like, there's no way you're talking about New Zealand tar. I'm like, tar.
Yeah, up there on Mount Taylor.
Yeah.
I've heard all the rumors of them. I've never went and chased them myself.
One of the guys in our office, Dennis Lee, he shot a
really
tar,
yeah
in New Mexico.
What's their status? They don't.
I don't know.
Honestly, I've never looked up too much about it.
Not a
But
game
What year
species?
was that he killed that?
2014 or 15.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, and his rank it was like top 10 SCI, including all the New Zealand ones. It was a smoker.
How did they get there?
Honestly, I should have researched it before I brought it up, but do not. I think I heard they were like just in some private area, and then they, obviously like everything, fence broke free or whatever, and they got out. Now they're surround and they can hunt them. But
I've never seen one. I don't know anybody that has killed one.
Yeah, you don't hear people talking about it very often.
No,
at
there's
all.
not a whole lot of them up there.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it. I think
I've just been, down south was where we have all the aoudad, and I've just been preoccupied with mowing down aoudad, so I've never gone up there to check them out.
How many do they have, do you think?
I think the population is very, very low. Like
This is the first time-
the chance of you seeing one, if you actually do the hunt and like get the tag, it's pretty hard. And
Do you have to have a tag for it? It's not in the
I
regs.
don't believe there is
It's
a tag
not in the
for it, no.
regulations at all.
No.
It's
You
probably
just
not.
go.
Just see one and you
Yeah.
shoot it. Yeah.
It's like hogs on a strip.
Wow.
Just go out and shoot them.
Yeah, Dennis Lee killed one.
Yeah,
Pretty wild.
His is
Cool.
a pretty sweet looking one too.
Yeah, so going back to the hunting origin story of mine, I never really took hunting serious, right? I was in athletics and in high school, baseball, basketball, football, doing all that stuff and not really paying attention to hunting too much. But it wasn't until 2014 my brother was killed in an accident, and I had a really hard time with that. And I went to a really dark place mentally. And I was in Korea at the time, and when I came back, I actually randomly got stationed in New Mexico. We have a couple bases out there. And it was like this really cool opportunity to come back home in a time where I really needed some healing. And that's when I went full blown, like, okay, I'm going to do everything that we always talked about doing. I'm going to do everything that we always dreamed about. We, disappear, and I'm gonna hunt my ass off as much as I can. And so that's kind of, I'd say 2014, 2015 is when I flipped the switch to, because everybody in New Mexico hunts, right? I mean, I always make jokes, even the cholos, the gangsters, everybody hunts. Like, everybody's elk hunting, everybody's deer hunting. No matter what walk of life you come from in New Mexico, you are connected to hunting in some way. It's such a part of New Mexican culture to hunt that you just kind of never get away from it. But it was at that point where I used hunting to pretty much be my therapy.
Yeah.
And be my escape. And I'd say, probably 2015 is when I got like, all right, I'm gonna do this and dedicate. I'm gonna knock out all the rest, quit snowboarding, everything. I'm gonna knock out all the rest of the hobbies and just hunt.
Just focus on hunting. Yeah.
Yeah, because when I would get back in and I think that's why I like deer so much, because deer live in places that nobody else likes to go. And I think that's where I get in there and I get kind of just calmed, and
Yeah.
it's like my therapy. So
I feel it for sure.
yeah.
Did your brother hunt with you?
He never did, no.
But you talked about it.
Yeah, we'd always talk, we'd hunt squirrel and small game and everything, and we just never really got to the point where, because our dad didn't hunt, so it was kind of something we would all do on our own. And my dad's, he's about hunting, and I've gone with him before. He's actually gone with me when I've killed an aoudad. But he just, being so busy, raising 6 kids, and now that I have 3 kids of my own, I completely get it. Like,
I got
now
one,
I know I never really
yeah.
hunted and never cared too much about it, and just didn't have the time or the money even then. So I'm taking full advantage of that, and I've got my son hunting, and he's killed an antelope in New Mexico. So it's just something that I've seen the value of the mental healing side of it, and being in the military for 16 years now, that's what I look forward to every year is, all right, I'm going to just put everything on hold and pause life, and I'm going to go chase deer, elk, whatever.
Yeah.
That's a great way to approach life.
Yeah.
The healing side of just getting out there hunting. And
Yep.
We've talked about it almost on every podcast, what it is for us when we're out there. You
it's,
know what I mean?
it's such a hard thing to
surprising that
describe,
that's-
but we all have the similar feeling about it.
Yeah. And everybody's coming from a different place, whether it be healing or whether it be just, what your lifestyle and what your life choice is. But it's like when you're out there, you all feel the same thing.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's that disconnect.
Yeah.
100%. And it's
Total
so, and I
disconnect.
think some people are I don't know, you look at Instagram these days and you really wonder what people's motives are behind why they hunt. And I know you've had a lot of conversation with Cole on your sheep hunt about
Yeah. Did he give you that?
I can tell you a majority of the motivations for
He and I got into it
Yeah.
one night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've Kevin. I want to hear you out, but
Yeah. No, man, it's just, to me, I'm not out there for, and me and Brady have talked about it too, like, why are we out there hunting deer? Why are you chasing the deer you chase? And I think anybody can go out there, and no knock at anybody that's out there shooting fork and horns, but for me, I know I can go out there and I can shoot a fork and horn on the first morning or immature animal, and to me, it's I'm saving that for the last day. And I don't kill a whole bunch of big animals at all by any means, but I like the longevity of the hunt. I'm gonna try. I want to take a mature animal. I don't care if it's, I've never shot a 200-inch deer. I've never shot a 400-inch elk, but I'm dang sure trying, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the effort into it and try. And if I fall short, I fall short. And I think we get so caught up in the, you can't talk about failures. You can't talk about, your hunt was a fail, because not every hunt's a fail. Every hunt's a success because it's memories made. And I'm like, I don't really look at it like that. I kind of look at it, if I don't go out there and accomplish what I set out to do, I failed. And I'm cool with failing, and I'm cool with talking about failing, because to me, failure is that thing that, what did I do wrong? Why didn't I kill that deer I want?
Yeah.
Why didn't I kill that elk I want? And it just kind of goes into the whole mental game of it all of, I'd rather fail and know why I didn't do that, so that next time I have now a better chance. I'm not out there for sunset photos or memories, because you're gonna have those either way.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's just, to me, hunting is such a mental game for me, and not a mental game as in like, I'm trying to be better than anybody or show it's literally me and me.
Yeah.
Me and that
Exactly.
animal, and me and my mental healing and my mental state, and
Yep.
just kind of learning from it all and just trying each time to get better and better.
yeah. Yeah, I'm curious, what did Cole have to say to you about my discussion with him about
No,
it?
so we talked exactly that, like social
I'm
media.
interested in
Like,
your take in social media. What do you think it is for hunting? What do you good, bad,
Man,
indifferent?
it's the life we live in now, for sure. I think if you can't totally disconnect from it,
Mm-hmm.
but I do question people's motives with it a lot. I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that are just trying to join the hunting industry because whatever previous industry they were in didn't pan out for them, or you know, they just see it as something to jump into. And people are like, well, why did you want to start an outfitter? Why do you guide? And I'm like, well, because I like sharing this with people, right? I like to give someone else the same opportunity that I've had. And nobody taught me how to hunt. Nobody helped me hunt. Nobody held my hand. So I am still hard on. I think, you know, you should walk through it and learn yourself. But I think it's really important to introduce people to this game and to the wild, and because we need that, right? We need everybody we can to keep this thing going.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is connected to you personally on a personal level.
Right.
Like
and that's what Cole and I talked about with you and his conversations with you is like, what drives you personally? You know, is it so I can post this on social media, or do you really want to kill that 185-inch buck and look at it every day because you enjoy deer? It's weird where social media takes things.
It does seem like there's probably a lot of people that if there wasn't social, they wouldn't be doing the things they're doing right now, which is crazy to think about. But I do look at some things and I'm like, are you really that into it, or are you just into people congratulating you or the likes you see?
Right. How many reels do we need of you shooting your bow in your backyard
Yeah,
without ever seeing an animal?
Dude, it's the
Yeah.
high school girl life.
Right.
It's the gratification of the likes and the comments. That's what it is.
I've kind of come to like, I don't know, I've had to look at this from two different sides, because I think it's really hard for me, to be honest, because I hunt for the reasons that I hunt, and somebody else might hunt for the reason that they hunt. And maybe their reason is to post an animal that they shot on social media for the dopamine of likes.
Yeah.
And I've had to like, internally I've wrestled with myself. Is my value, the thing that I hunt for, is that of greater value than the value that they hunt for? And it isn't.
I don't think it is.
No,
it isn't.
I don't think it is at all.
No,
So
I
it's-
totally agree.
It's really hard for me to
Yeah.
look. I mean, I hear that a lot. I hear a lot of people be like, well, that person hunts for the wrong reasons. I'm like, well, you know, are the reasons.
What's their reason?
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
their reason? And is their reason any less than or greater than my reason? Which,
Right.
you
It's
know,
Very good point.
I
Two
think,
things can always be true
yeah,
at once.
I think a lot of
Always.
us, we get that like, myself included, like that holier, you know, than thou. Like, well, I'm hunting for the right reasons. You're not hunting for the right reasons. But reality is,
That person
It's
may
just-
just enjoy going out there taking fancy photos of their bow and
Yeah.
not ever shooting anything.
it's interesting. And I've had to, I mean, I wrestle with that internally a lot. I look at that I try to look at it from both sides. I'm like, you know, is my reason greater than theirs? And I don't think that it is. I don't think I also have to relate to it.
Yeah.
I think just because their reason is different than mine, I don't think that I have to like relate to it.
100%.
I mean, I might not get it. I probably never will get it, but like, you know, it is.
I think I keep coming back and settling on the ethics portion of it, right?
Yeah.
And education.
That's
and,
me.
And when you fall back on being an outfitter, being a guide, even being in the military, right? I believe in authenticity. I believe that you're on display. Whether you want to be or not, when you're on social media, you're on display. Somebody's always watching. What are you putting out there, right? Are you educating people properly? Because the hunting industry has a really hard time and a really big problem with putting some bad stuff out there, right? And every time some bad stuff goes out there, that puts us all back, whether as a community as a whole, right? So if you've got some guy out there who's got 50,000 followers and promoting themselves, but they're not really promoting proper education, they're really not promoting the right story, that's where I kind of start to have an issue with that. Because I think we're all stewards of what we're doing here. We're all stewards of the hunting industry, of wildlife biology, of hunting management, and I think that's where I have a hard time. Right? And I say, like to Trail's point, there's no one way better than the other. However, I think when you're putting bad information and bad education and disinformation out there, I think you're causing a detriment to us.
100%.
And
that's where I fall. Like two things can be true at once, right? Like
yeah.
motives can be different. That's totally fine. And I'm good with that.
Right.
Like Trail said, I don't necessarily align with it, and I never will. But like, hey, if you're out there, your dollars are going to conservation and tags and applications, like all for it. What it comes down to with everybody's different reason and purpose for hunting is as long as the ethics and morals fall into the same common ground, then it's who cares beyond that, right?
That's
like
where I land.
all motivations, all purpose for hunting. Do what you need to do to be out there hunting and doing it. But as long as we're all
You're
playing
putting
in
the
the
right
same
information
box
out there,
of that moral compass, as long as we're all right there, then who cares beyond that?
And I say that a lot. Me and Cole talk about that a lot, right? Speak from experience, not theory.
Yeah.
Don't sit here and teach somebody how to do a particular style or hunt a particular animal if you haven't killed that animal or haven't hunted that animal. To me, that puts a lot of bad messaging out there. Because there's people who are genuinely trying to learn, right? And when you hit that social media line, you don't know the difference between who's legit and who's not legit and who to learn from.
Yeah.
I
Entirely.
feel like that's really important. It goes into the whole ethics of why rules are made, why laws are made, why muzzleloaders are now restricted in New Mexico with open. It all flows into it because what's being put out there.
Yeah.
Who's drawing that line of ethics on what they're doing or what they're saying. So I don't know. I don't mean to get on a tangent of social
No, it's
media.
good. It's a good tangent, and I agree with you. I'm with you in that rules and regs need to be followed regardless.
Right.
You know.
Yeah,
That's
purpose
why-
can be different. Rules and regs and moral compass cannot be different. Those all got to fall in the same boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I do appreciate every now and then when you jump on your stories and you have a little, you kind of have a little rant, but it's not like a rant. It's like you're just being true to your heart and like the way you say things, like you just explained about being real, being true. Like it comes off, and I'm like, yeah, this guy gets it.
Yeah. I try to be authentic, man. I mean, we've all made mistakes in life. I don't know that I've ever made a mistake, when it comes to following hunting laws. That's not something that anybody needs to be
You probably
making.
have. I probably have. We all probably have.
There's wild laws out there.
It's like saying I've never broke a law driving.
Reality
I'm pretty
is-
sure I've broke
I broke
quite a
laws
few
all the
laws
time
driving.
The reality is you try to, though.
I think so many people try and hide all that, though,
Yeah.
right? They
Shit
try
happens.
And hide. Yeah, we all. I fucked up a bunch. We all make mistakes in life, and I don't. To your point with social media, when I put stuff out there, I don't. I just like throwing it out there, man. You're either gonna like me for who I am, or
That's how I am. And being completely honest, this is why I had to get off of social. I can't stand it. I've never been a social person just in general. I'm definitely like more of a quiet guy, kind of standing in the back.
Yeah.
So like this social life is just completely not who you know what I mean? It doesn't align with who I am. So I'm off it for all those reasons. Like I can't be in that world. It's a different world. It is truly like I check in on GOHUNT's stuff and all.
Right.
Obviously I want to and have to. But it is two entirely different worlds.
And then here's the crazy thing. Like we talked about, I don't know, one of the podcasts way back in the day about like ethics of shooting and long range this or that. And it comes down to how many of these people are just sitting around on their phones all the time, burning their days, burning their time.
Yeah.
When they could be out there practicing, they could be out there shooting
Honing
their
their
bow.
craft. Yeah.
They could be out there shooting their rifle. They could be dialing their arrow setup in. They could be figuring out where the broadheads shoot great, what works and what doesn't work on glassing techniques. But instead, they're glued to social media, looking at stuff that doesn't mean anything to them in the big scheme of things of life, and they're wasting all that time. Like, oh, I don't have time to do this. Well, you do if you didn't spend 2 hours a day.
Yeah, look at your screen time. And
Like
let me know.
literally, if what you want in life, you can just make a little bit of sacrifices to go out there and be better at your craft. But people aren't willing to do it because
we're all
glued.
guilty of it.
for
I'm
sure.
super guilty of
How
it.
many times on a hunt?
Sunday when I get my screen report, I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah,
I
dude.
could have done so many other things.
Yeah.
And every time I tell myself I'm going to get better at it, phone screen time same.
Yeah,
every
the
week.
worst is when you're out hunting and you get to the top of a knob. What do? You
First
turn off.
thing.
You turn off airplane mode.
Yeah.
And then you might be looking through text. And then you might be jumping on Instagram.
When you should be
Everyone
looking
does
for
it.
deer.
Yeah, everyone does it. You're out there hunting, but you were tempted.
Yeah.
Everyone does it. Even I do it.
Man, it's. I wonder in the next few decades or so what they're going to come out with as far as cognitive decline because of social media.
Oh, I think it's already here.
You can see it every day, just interactions with people. But
What was I listening to the other day? I was like this Chat GPT stuff. You guys been kind of
Oh,
following
yeah.
out
I
new
know all
releases?
about
No, what's that?
ChatGPT.
Say it again.
the
Chat GPT.
AI.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence.
Yeah. The one that I thought was interesting is that it passed the bar exam.
Yeah.
I put it on my
It
phone
passed
just to mess with it.
MCAT.
It'll write. So if you're a college student right now and you had to write a paper, it'll entirely write your paper.
Okay, this
for
might
you.
be. So I did a podcast yesterday with Dave Brinker, and he was, I think, slightly talking about this. He said some guy said he wants to create a website that does this, it does that sort of thing, and he plugged it in, and this little AI thing built his exact website that he envisioned without him having to do any of the work.
Yeah.
Just like that easy.
Yeah. Well,
Pretty
Chat
crazy.
GPT it's also open. Like you can just go use it. You can
I
Go ask it
downloaded
to
this
do
one,
anything.
Chat AI,
yeah.
and man, you can just ask some weird stuff.
You guys know who Lex Friedman is?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Lex Friedman has a lot of podcasts on Chat GPT.
Anyway.
So what do you mean when you're asking it something? Is it giving you like an answer back, and you can like
Yeah, like
serve
you
it?
can say, write me a paragraph about the Civil War in the voice of Brady Miller.
Yeah.
And it'll pull up all the information out. And
So this scares me a little bit. And since I'm in the editorial world, like
Yeah,
if people
oh,
are just
yeah.
going to start just using this to
Yeah.
write articles about stuff
Sorry,
I
you've been
really
laid
don't
off.
know about,
just kidding.
I'm just going to start spewing off all this elk knowledge that I don't have and like have this AI thing write
Yeah.
a bunch
Yeah.
of badass elk articles,
Yeah.
even though I know nothing about elk hunting.
That's it. Guess we're going elk hunting permanent. Just
Yeah, you heard it here first.
in the field. Anyway, yeah, we got off topic, but I wanted to go back. There was something you said I just wanted to ask you about was like, I'm interested. I don't think a lot of people, I mean, you guys are from Nevada. I'm from Utah. I think we have a pretty good beat on like hunting culture within our states. You know, Utah's got a pretty, good hunting culture, especially when it comes to mule deer. But what's it like? You said New Mexico, everybody hunts?
Everybody hunts.
Really?
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's what you do.
Like this, it's a hunting culture then in New
yeah,
Mexico.
it just is. Yeah, elk. I mean, elk's the thing, by far the thing. Everybody wants
Gotcha.
to go hunt elk. Elk in the Gila, man.
Do you, I mean, growing up in New Mexico and being familiar with that, like, do you guys apply out of states? Are you guys looking?
No, I apply at all the other states.
Okay.
Do you think that's a common thing?
Yeah, I was
No,
wondering.
No.
They're
No.
all in state.
All in
Mostly
state.
in
Most
state.
most New Mexico residents are. I'm not trying to bash my crowd here, but I would say they're not the most educated group of folks. And I don't mean that.
Yeah,
It
right.
just-
Yeah, no.
if they just draw a New Mexico elk tag or a deer tag or oryx or something like that, they're good to go. They don't really look out elsewhere. And
As a resident there and all your friends, do you guys like the random side of the draw?
I
No
do,
points?
absolutely.
Do you think everyone else
Yeah.
collectively, like they love that system?
and I'll be honest right now, as an outfitter, we have the outfitter pool and everybody loves that. I wish it would go away, to be honest. I wish the
Really?
outfitter pool would go away.
Really?
Yep.
Why is that?
I think there would be a better opportunity for more non-resident tags if we were more structured like Arizona per se or something like that, or we were like an 85-15 split.
Yeah.
Or a 90-10. I don't even need 90-10. I think 85-15 would be cool. And then there's that much more tags. And if you just draw as a non-resident, you draw as a non-resident, and then you go hire an outfitter from there.
It is interesting. New Mexico, if you look at it from this, because I write those app strategy articles, if you look at New Mexico from the standpoint of a resident, your odds are really good.
Really good.
You guys have really good odds, and especially the way the system is set up where you get 3 choices and all 3 are considered before
Right.
your application moves to the next guy.
Right.
But I mean, you guys
Yeah,
have
it's 84%.
You have legit, really good resident odds. I don't think that people think about New Mexico in terms of hunting opportunity, mostly because a lot of us are non-residents. But
Yeah.
like residents in New Mexico, you guys have phenomenal chances to hunt.
We do, and there's some issues with the E+ system, and I'm not gonna. That's a whole podcast.
That's a
in itself,
can of worms, yeah.
So I'm not gonna get onto that, but there is a whole a lot of uproar about the way that the elk tags are allocated in New Mexico as far as resident goes, but. I think DIY non-residents are getting screwed over in New Mexico. I really do, and I would like to see, the DIY guy get more of an opportunity.
I think
to
that's
draw a tag
becoming
in New
more
Mexico.
and more of a case in
Yeah.
most of the states, though.
Yeah,
It
it is. Yeah.
Sadly.
Like I said, I'm not against the outfitter pool. We're an outfitter. We definitely benefit from it, but I also would like to just see a straight up like 85-15%
Yeah.
draw.
It's good to hear that from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool perspective.
What do you like about outfitting?
Helping people. I really do. I like being able to help somebody accomplish something that they maybe couldn't do on their own.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. Like
And it's days in the field getting paid for.
it is.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
You're making money doing what you enjoy doing. And I'll talk about Hollywood Mike for a minute. This is a buddy of Cody and I's, and I think you guys have met Mike before.
Yep.
You guys got sweet nicknames. Hollywood Mike, Ryan the Creature.
Ryan the Creature.
Brady, you're Mule Deer Jesus.
We'll do Jesus.
Yeah, I don't have one, but anyway. Nah, I don't like it. It's not sticking.
So seeing Mike shoot his first antelope this year was pretty awesome, and Cody can attest to that. You're talking a guy that lives in Los Angeles, right? No real exposure hunting. Cody got him into hunting. Cody, he's here. He's hunting. He's a hunter now because of Cody. Just kind of talking to him and explaining to him that, and then for us to sit there and watch him shoot his first animal, I was like, man, this is why I do this, because this dude's like, he told me, he's like, in this moment right now, as I'm touching this antelope, I want to do this the rest of my life.
Yeah.
It's like there was just something.
Isn't it crazy
about
how
this.
common that is?
Yeah,
though?
you
It's
hear it
awesome.
over and over.
That's how you know it's so special.
Yeah,
And
and
it's-
we were in northeastern New Mexico and out in the grasslands out there, and he's just like, this is peaceful. This is it. And he
Yeah.
went on Cody's elk hunt, and he had a blast on Cody's elk hunt, and that I think is why I do it. Because you get those people that are like, wow.
Yeah, they
this
start
is
to
really-
get your passion.
Yeah.
And that becomes their passion.
And they're like, now I see why this means so much to you, because now I'm here. I just experienced it myself.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool. That's really cool. I
know,
know,
it's-
of course, you don't. Every client's not an awesome client, but
Yeah.
You know
For
what
the majority.
so listening to a lot of Joe Rogan, just like the rest of the world. So there's nothing different here,
Right.
But not a different thought on this, but it's crazy. Like for me, when I hear him talk about it, and I hear these guys like, you know, Mike's story right here, you hear about guys doing it for the first time in their adult age that are able to like feel that for the first time. One of the things I think we take for granted all the time, growing up hunting, since we were kids, learning from our dads, this whole thing, like we don't take for granted that there is this like innate human thing that we're tapping into.
Right.
Like as an adult, when you're grown up your whole life and you've hit adult maturity and your perspective of life is there, and then all of a sudden you get thrown into like this true primal thing
Right.
that we definitely have in our bodies. It just hasn't been like lightened up yet, right? Like you listen to Rogan talk about this and it's like he had that, and he's such a cerebral, smart guy to talk about it. But like he talks about when he first did it, he's like, oh, like there's this thing in me that's like that wants this, like that makes this a thing, that makes it real. It's like an entirely different experience when you have that as an adult, like Hollywood Mike, as opposed for us. Like I don't remember having that because we've been doing it for so long, that perspective at least.
Yeah,
but I
There's one
definitely
thing
have
going on a hunt.
the one thing that I mean, it's refreshing to hear it though from an adult onset hunter, because then it kind of reprograms like, oh, that is that feeling
we're
I
supposed to
have.
be doing.
Like that's what it is. And it is like when I'm out there looking for an animal, finding the animal, killing it, butchering it, taking it home, like that is that thing that we have inside of us, that primal thing that just lights up in that moment. It's like that is the thing we were programmed to do.
yeah, and
You know?
and I think it's being the person pulling the trigger changes a lot of things, right? Because
Oh,
Mike
yeah.
had gone on hunts. He filmed the hunt for you guys, and he went on Cody's hunt. And it wasn't until he pulled the trigger
Yep.
and watched death transpire to such an awesome looking animal, like,
Yeah.
and he was the
Well,
cause
the
of that.
responsibility of you letting that bullet go and whatever happens
Right.
afterwards
Yeah,
is on
you.
you.
Can't call that bullet back.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can't.
it's on
and
you.
so there's a transitionary period when you pull that trigger from, being exposed to hunting, going on a hunt. That's one thing, but when you pull that trigger or release that arrow,
Yeah, when you're the one,
it's you.
It's different.
Yeah, you just did that, and I think that's really freeing for some people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think my first deer I ever killed, I remember having that moment. Like I shot this 2-point from 85 yards. It was two points fighting together.
That's awesome.
They
Two
picked,
studs.
They picked their heads up, and I was like, "Yep, that's the one." And I spined it and I dumped it. But I remember being really excited up until the point I walked up to it and I could see it laying there dead, and like I had this like oh shit moment. Like I
Yeah.
remember that
I
very
re-
vividly. I don't feel that every time now. Sometimes I still do, but like I definitely remember vividly that
Yeah,
moment.
I
Like,
remember it.
did
I
that.
just wasn't mature enough to understand.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
this
and
is
I
in
wondered
me.
the maturity
Yeah.
thing you talk about. I wondered. So my son, he was 6 when he shot his pronghorn.
Yeah,
And when I walked up to that animal with him to watch his reaction, that one got me. That was harder than any of my first animals or anything like that. Like it was just like, did I, as a parent, as an adult, did I lead him through this properly? What's in his mind right now as a 6-year-old when he just shot this antelope doe?
Yeah.
Does he really grasp what he just did? And I think he did. And I think it really hit him. And he was, he's asking to be put in for antelope again this year. But yeah, it was in that moment. As soon as you walk up to that dead animal, it's just kind of like this surreal feeling of,
yeah.
hell,
Yeah.
I'm a hunter, man. Like this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm meant to do.
It's what you're
Yeah,
supposed
it's
to
what
do.
I'm-
It's what
this
we're
is what you're
programmed
born
to
for.
do. Yeah,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
crazy.
At what age you got kids?
Yep, 3.
3. At what? And you said 6? Did
Yeah,
you?
he was 6. So he's 11 now, but he was 6 when he shot his
Yeah,
first.
I've
animal.
wrestled with this quite a bit with
Yeah.
my 3 kids. Like, what is the proper age to get my kid into hunting? Like,
Right.
at what maturity level do I feel like they're capable of like grasping this? Whole
Understanding
experience?
the responsibility of
Yeah.
taking a life.
And
yeah.
he's a pretty mature kid, and he was then. And so New Mexico, there's no minimum age for youth. You just have to pass hunter safety.
Yep.
yeah.
So he took hunter safety at 6 years old. We just, we talked about it. We went down to the Game and Fish. I was like, "Do you want to take this?" And he was like, "Yeah," because he, always asking questions about animals bringing home. I'm like, "Well, let's go take hunter safety." So got him in hunter safety. He took that. Probably the next youngest kid in there was probably 12 years old, 10 years old.
Really?
So he's sitting there as a 6-year-old taking and New Mexico's cool because you do it there. There's game wardens there. There's volunteers there. And I didn't help him on, they have to take a written test. Yeah, and I said, I just sat there with him. He did it. I didn't say a word. He rode through the pamphlet. He took the test and he passed. And it was right before the draw. And I remember telling him, hey, do you want to put in for the draw?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I want to do that. So I put him in for some really top tier premium antelope tags, and all I put him in for was antelope because we really enjoy antelope. And so he drew a doe tag, and the unit.
What a good hunt for a kid too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
and
perfect
it was
hunt.
cool because he drew his doe tag in the unit that I killed my first ever antelope in when I was younger. And he ended up shooting his doe probably, I don't know, a few hundred yards from where I shot my first antelope.
Dude, that's a wild, cool story.
Yeah, so I was
that's
like,
awesome.
this is it like meant a lot to me. It was really cool, and he shot a little 6.5 Creedmoor and got set up, and it was just awesome. He had a good time, and then of course I drug him out into the OTC and took him all dead hunting.
Let him see the real side of it.
Yeah, I was like, here we go. We're gonna do it for real. And he missed probably 6 or 7 times on a ewe. She was probably only 200 yards, but that's when he was like, okay, this is
real.
This is hard. Yeah.
No, I got a 3-year-old, and that's like to your guys' point, to your point, Trail. I want to take him hunting as soon as possible. Like there's no question about it. But then I also in the back of my mind, I'm okay. When is right? Like I know I want to do this for him, but when is he going to understand what he's doing?
Right.
Like not that you're out there having fun, because obviously it's fun.
Oh yeah.
But like when you understand you're behind the gun, about ready to make a lethal move towards something, like, it's different. To understand that.
Yeah, I think it's different for every kid too.
Yeah.
And I took my oldest when he was 12. My second one's 13. He hasn't hunted yet. My youngest is 10, and he keeps asking. He knows that in New Mexico he can apply.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, bud. You're probably not. I don't know if you're quite ready yet. But 10, 12. I think it's interesting. I think it's a worthwhile discussion. And like I said, every kid's a little bit different. I don't think mine's quite ready yet, but he'll get there.
Yeah, I didn't pressure him at all. It was every time it's just like, hey, do you want to do it? What do you think?
Yeah. What makes you think he's not ready? If you don't mind me asking.
I want him to I don't know if I don't know. This is a hard question to answer, I guess. I just don't know that he could, him personally, I don't know if he's fully ready to grasp the whole concept of life, death, walk up on an animal that is dead. Like my oldest kid, and I think maybe just by the nature of he's the oldest, he's my first kid. We treated him, he's just like us, he heard us talk all the time. He heard adults all the time, and, he didn't have little brothers to, grow up and have that whole experience. But there's just something, I just don't think he's quite ready yet. I don't know.
To grasp.
Just a vibe. I just want him, when he goes out there, I want him to be old enough to, be able to kind of handle the landscape and strong enough to handle a rifle if he needs, not fully, but, to shoot a rifle, feel comfortable with it. So that's part of it. And then, I just want him to fully grasp the complete concept of this animal was living and breathing. This animal is now dead due to your hand, and we're going to butcher it and take it home and we're going to eat it. And that's the process. And I don't know, maybe even that's a stretch for a 12-year-old, but I think I just want him to be a little bit older to maybe fully grasp that.
So with my son, granted he's only 3, so I could be talking like a complete idiot here, but what I see in him is he is overly gung-ho, and he's overly just wants to go do it. And that is the motivation instead of just the moment, the entirety of the moment itself, which is, I think, when I look at him and want to take him hunting as soon as possible in New Mexico and all this shit, where I see him falling short is just on the back end of it to be gung-ho because your dad does it and you watch your dad do it, all this stuff.
Right.
Yeah, but the maturity level of understanding the entirety of the moment, I could see him just being way too gung-ho about it and falling short on.
That's where my third kid, that's where he is. He wants to go because his dad goes, he sees animals, he sees hero mounts in my basement and stuff like that. And I think he wants to go and he's motivated by that, which I don't know if it would ever change for him, but I want him to be at least more aware of the entire experience as a whole versus just gung-ho about it, you know? Whereas my oldest kid, he was 12, and I look back on that experience. I took him to Wyoming. We hunted antelope as well, and he shot an antelope, and then he reminded me the other day, 5 days later, he shot his first mule deer, and he kind of did that all on his own. my wife, I'd taken my wife. My wife actually had scoped herself, missed the buck that he
Awesome.
ended up shooting. But I remember like he was 12 and he walked over by himself to the edge of this drainage while I was trying to help her. And, you know, he got down, got prone, got his shooting sticks, you know, his legs out and everything, and made the shot on his own.
That's cool.
Which at that point I was like, yeah, this was the right time for him.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Do you think, I don't have kids, so I don't really know, but I just go off my prior experience. Like, do you think
not yet. How many first dates?
Do you think it's easier to do like small game first and like maybe some upland waterfowl?
Yeah.
Because like I started hunting like squirrels, worked my way up to different things, started waterfowl hunting, you know, trapping and all that stuff before I did big game. So it was a bit easier transition knowing the life and death, like you said.
Right. Yeah.
Before you jump into something giant like an antelope or a deer.
I have a
like,
different perspective on that actually, though.
Is it easier going the other way maybe?
Yeah. So
'Cause you can relate more to a bigger
my
animal?
thought on that is anybody on planet Earth can kill an ant, a spider,
Yeah.
this, that, and be entirely disconnected
Yeah.
of the moment of life and death that just happened on account of you, on what you just did, right? And I think you can get further disconnected on that small stuff,
Man,
right? Like,
Yeah, because
I think
you
can
don't
get
respect like a
further-
coyote
yeah,
as much as
yeah,
you would.
and
yeah,
this
hit
is
that
what's
hard,
really
man.
what's really interesting to me about like antis specifically. It's like, man, they can go spray raid in their house and all that. It's a life is a life, right? Like, yeah, one is a nuance and annoying and whatever, and one is like prettier. You can't deny that, right? Like
Yeah.
a living giant animal in the mountains is
Right.
prettier than the ant in your basement. I get it, but it is still like the action of life and death. And I think if you do that on that small scale, like you can just get so disconnected from what you did or what you are doing, right? So I like in my life getting older, like I'm in the stage of my life getting older right now where if a grasshopper's in my pool drowning, like I tell my son, let's go help him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's something because I'm understanding of the other side of what I do, right? Like there is that moment of life and death on account of you personally. And if you get disconnected from it, like then as a kid, you do that too often as a kid. That's what I'm nervous about with my son.
Right.
So I don't
Yep.
want to take him in the backyard shooting pigeons.
That makes a
and-
lot of sense.
Yeah.
You know,
As
'cause
you
I-
say that, I'm sitting here right now thinking about every squirrel and rabbit I killed
Yeah.
as a kid, and I'm like, I don't know that I ever took
Yeah,
2 seconds
I don't-
to think
I don't
about
want
the
Yeah,
life
exactly.
of that
It
squirrel.
makes sense what you're saying.
I,
Like,
so
that's why I
live
appreciate
out,
it.
I live out in the like surrounded by BLM. I've got Eurasian doves. I've got pigeons. We could go out there and shoot stuff all day long, but I don't want them to get used to that. Like I don't want them to be disconnected from what we're doing, right? Like that animal is now done because of us, right? I want his first experience to be like monumental,
Right.
so he can now understand. You know, that grasshopper in the pool. That's an animal too, right? Like, are we going to help him or let him drown, kind of a thing?
I killed a lot as a kid. Like I killed a lot of rabbits, a lot of sparrows. I mean, all kinds of birds. But I do remember my dad just continually harping on that message. Like, you just took a life.
Yeah.
You know, think about it. You just took a life. You know, and like he was always on me about that. I definitely, and that's something I try to pass on my kids. You know,
Yeah,
if we
good
go,
parenting.
If we go out rabbit hunting, you know,
You're gonna eat it.
Yeah.
yeah, we talk about it. You know, hey, you just killed an animal. It's not completely
No.
just nothing.
Yeah.
It's serious. I do think there's, I mean, in killing, I mean, I do think you brought it up. Like, do you take your kids out hunting small game? I think it's a good idea. I mean, just in terms of like handling a firearm, safety,
For that side,
you know,
for sure.
for that
no
side,
question.
target acquisition, that kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
anyway,
I'm not saying I have my mind made on that, by
Yeah.
the way, but like with my son, I look at him every day and I'm like, this is what I'm struggling with, right? Like,
Yeah.
do we go in the backyard and go
I think it's all in the
pigeon
messaging.
hunt? Yeah, right. But when is he old enough to understand what I'm?
Yeah.
He's
Messaging
3
is,
right
yeah.
now, right?
Yeah,
Like he's
yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
like, holy shit, this is fun. We're riding our 4-wheelers shooting pigeons. This is awesome. Like I want him to
That
be
does
able
sound
to.
awesome. Let's
yeah,
go.
Right. I want him to be able
Where's
to
the invite?
understand.
What are we doing
Hey, come over. Come over. But yeah, it's like I go back and forth on it all the time. You know, all the time.
You guys want to talk about muzzleloaders?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm ready to learn,
Brady,
honestly.
Are you?
Yeah, let's geek out on some muzzies.
I can tell Brady's like checking his watch. He's
Well, the
like,
thought-
I
Well,
know-
I also have March Madness up on my computer, so if I've
Oh,
been
you
like,
are?
disconnected
Is
a
there
little
any
You
bit.
watching
upsets
TV?
going on
No,
right
I've
now?
been watching the updates on the games.
Is there
I'm
any
not-
upsets right now?
yeah,
Close
number,
to upsets?
what was it? Who was the 14 seed I was looking at earlier?
This is such a
Oh,
fun.
oh yeah,
fun
USBC is up on Baylor at halftime.
Oh, Baylor.
14-3 upset potentially.
Who's
Nice.
USBC?
University of Santa Barbara.
Oh, Santa Barbara, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
California, Santa Barbara. Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
I'm
But
real-
this is the podcast. This one specifically is for these muzzleloaders, right?
Muzzleloaders,
Because of
yep.
New
That's why we had the
main
man, the myth,
change-
the legend,
Yeah.
Ryan the Creature here.
Oh boy,
Talking about some muzzies.
muzzleloaders.
So
Honestly, I never liked muzzleloaders, and then it just kind of became something that
Why?
Yeah. What's
I
the
did.
allure?
It just complete
Opportunity
zero
of the hunts that
education.
you can draw, or what was the driver of it?
So my buddy Jim was looking at stuff, and we were. This is probably 2015, 2016. We were scouring draw odds on GOHUNT, and like, man, we could draw a lot of stuff if we just started using muzzleloaders. And he was familiar with muzzleloaders. I had never shot a muzzleloader. I'd never even messed with one.
Yeah.
Really never had any interest in it. Was really kind of scared of them, if I'm being honest. I'm a very methodical guy, very, very detail oriented, very step by step dude, and I was honestly just kind of scared of a muzzleloader. I was like, I don't want to blow my face off, blow my fingers off.
Yeah.
I don't know that I trust these things, and of course the muzzleloaders back then were not what's sitting right in
And
front of us.
everybody has a story about a
Right.
muzzleloader. My brother just about blew his thumb off with a
Yeah.
muzzleloader.
Yeah, double loaded.
Yeah, it was handed a double loaded gun.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like everyone's got a story, you know what I mean? So it's
Right.
not crazy when people think like, oh, it's I don't want any of this shit to happen to me, right?
And then there's real aside from Jim Shockey, I couldn't think of anybody else that's a big muzzleloader guy, right? Like,
Good old
the
Jim.
OG Jim Shockey.
Yeah.
I remember
OG,
watching those
man.
videos way back in the day.
Just the absolute stud, and still today, just an
Right.
absolute stud.
Yeah.
right? So
OG.
it was always just like, oh man, that's what the old dudes do with the muzzleloaders, right? And just never really thought anything of it. And then we started seeing what potential we had with drawing tags with muzzleloaders. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, that's the big one, right?
So just quickly, I pulled up some stats here. So we're talking about New Mexico a little bit.
Yeah.
So New Mexico, I'm on Filtering 2.0 on GOHUNT right now. I just have muzzleloader pulled up, draw odds of 36% or better. We have potential for 23 units
Yep.
at 36 or
What
better.
species?
Mule deer, of course. Like, why would I go anywhere else to? And then you go over to rifle side, 36% or better, 11 units.
Yep.
And you can see how that could like definitely change. As I could probably crank that up even higher percentage on muzzleloader and still get better chance to draw
Right.
some of these tags
Yeah,
rather than
absolutely.
rifle. And that's across a lot of the states in the West. Like, you want to pick up a muzzleloader, you can open the door to hunting more often. Then you can, like I always say, you can hone your craft
Yeah.
of hunting that species. You're going to start to be real proficient with the muzzleloader,
Right.
and you might see a lot more success,
Right.
Because
Yes.
you're willing to just drop it down a
Maximize your
little bit.
opportunity. That's really all it came down to for me and Jim was how
Yeah.
can we kill more shit?
My draw for muzzleloader is exactly that.
Yeah.
In Nevada, like hunting archery here, opens August 10th every year, open on the same day. And you see some deer, right? But hunting a lot of this stuff down here south, like with a bow, it's not great, right?
Yeah.
Then you start looking into, man, how can I get a little more opportunity to kill, but still have opportunity to draw tags in my home state? And that's where my mind started to transition heavily into muzzleloader.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you don't hunt, I mean, what are you doing? Like, you're just
Yeah.
going to sit there and not hunt for 7 years as you keep waiting, or are you going to pick up a more primitive weapon and get out there and hunt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's face it, I mean, it's muzzleloader technology.
Well,
Yeah,
the hard
and I
thing,
think that's-
look, not being a pro like you two in anything shooting, like you three in anything shooting, archery and rifle and muzzleloader, muzzleloaders do have kind of a, like state by state gets a little more,
Yeah, the rules and regs are different.
yeah, it gets a little more intimidating, right? Because
It
you
is
start
very
looking at like,
confusing.
dude, and you start, morals and
Yeah,
the
ethics
moral
and-
compass, like not breaking any laws and rules.
Right.
It's like I remember when I was first getting into this, right? When I was newly out of college is when I started picking up a muzzleloader. And you start crossing state lines and you're going, holy shit, like, I need to set up for Colorado and I need to set up for Nevada.
Idaho, yeah.
I need to set up for New Mexico. Utah, shit, it's basically a rifle, right? Like,
It's legit a single shot rifle.
yeah, I mean, it's
like at that point.
So you start and then it's this whole world to figure out. But hey, at the same time, I was drawing more tags, so
Yep.
Yeah.
it's just kind of one of those things I had to go figure
And
out.
I'm proud of New Mexico I've gotten a lot of hate for this, right?
Yeah, let's jump into this New Mexico law change.
I'm proud of New Mexico for going this direction because they looked at it as the success rate's too high on the muzzleloader tags. We're basically letting everybody out there with rifles. And they took it as we've got to change something or we're going to lose here. And of course, who doesn't want to sit here with a muzzleloader with a night force on it? And shoot
Yeah, so
600
people
Well,
are
at, the
watching
at
this.
the high level, what is the change? Just so we're clear here.
So it went from basically more primitive, so no scopes,
Yeah.
no magnification, just open sights, basically the same as Nevada.
Yep.
But before it was
This right here is the set. This is what I shot.
A
my
single
deer
shot
with this
rifle
year.
is essentially what it was before.
Yep. Basically, essentially a rifle.
So you can have like you said, you have a giant. People don't see. You have a Night Force on there right now. What is
Yep.
it, like a 7 to?
It's a 2x5x20.
Yeah. So you
2
have
to 5x20. 50 F1. I mean, it's super clear. I
Yeah, so
I
you can
lay
have as
down,
much-
I think I feel like I'm behind a rifle.
You can have
Do you-
unlimited magnification.
And you have it doped for long range?
Oh yeah.
And you have
I'm
he has a
up to-
turret system on his muzzleloader, so you can dial in exact yardage.
Yeah, so the open sight system I have is the Gunworks Revic EXO. So obviously it's a dialable turret.
And that's legal in New Mexico.
This is legal, yeah.
Yep.
Cody, what'd you shoot your bull at with this? It's like almost 280 yards, I think.
So so Cody, his Nevada bull
Nevada
had
bull,
that
he
set
shot
up
it
on
with
it
this setup right here.
at 260, 270, something like that.
It hit it perfectly.
How does that work? It's a peep sight?
Yeah, it's basically, so you got the front globe on the front. This is a, what's his name? Lee Shaver. And then it has a Lyman globe, or, crosshairs inside of it.
Okay.
And it just goes on the front. And all you have to really do is mess with the windage on the front sight, and then you do your elevation on the rear.
So you dial the rear side.
Yeah,
with
You
the
dial the rear,
It's
and that thing
essentially
will-
like a peep, right?
Yep, that peep will
Basically-
raise up or
and it
lower.
raises it up or...
And it goes by MOA, and you just raise it up, and it raises you up. And what we were shooting, 550 yards open sights at the range?
And
Now,
that's-
I would never shoot an animal 500 plus yards with an open sight muzzleloader, but
Yeah, the difficult thing when you get to the open sights is you can hardly see your crosshairs
Correct,
in the front,
yeah.
like
Yeah,
your front globe. That
Morally,
gets really-
morally,
And
you
morally,
can't
it's-
tell where those
you can't tell where
like,
exactly.
yeah, they're on the animal, but
Right.
where?
the gun can shoot way better than you can actually shoot because you can't see.
Well, yeah,
the front
just
globe.
biology. Our eyes can't figure that part out.
But and even with the scope, you got to be careful because with the scope on it, range I've shot out to 700 yards. But man, that changes when you get on an animal. And muzzleloaders it's still a muzzleloader. It still does muzzleloader things at long distance.
Yeah.
So my elk hunt this past year in New Mexico, I had a couple not good shots using the scope, and I learned some lessons there where I'm probably capping at 500 yards. With this thing, even with the scope on it, I don't know that I'm going to shoot it past 500 yards on an animal, even with the
a long
scope.
shot.
That's still
From
talking muzzleloader
That's
dates
crazy.
and tag
Yeah.
opportunity. You're still shooting that far. Holy shit!
Yeah. So I think the change to open sights in New Mexico is really honestly pretty good, because what it's going to do, they came to this conclusion that the success rate is too high. We're either going to have to cut tags drastically or do something else. So I feel like by going open sight, tag numbers are going to stay intact as they are right now. And then even the potential for how many animals are now going to survive with guys out there with open sights. And now there's big arguments in New Mexico with a lot of New Mexicans that, people are going to go out there and just pop shots with open sights now and wound a bunch of animals. And I said, well, now we're going back to the whole ethics thing, right?
Yep.
How is that any different than a scoped muzzleloader? If you've got a guy with a scoped muzzleloader, what's going to stop him from shooting 700 yards now? As opposed to now stretching it out with open sights. So to me, I don't see why that matters. I don't really see the correlation in that change, because ethics are ethics. Either you have them or you don't.
Yeah, that's that boat everybody needs to fall into.
Right.
And I believe they made that change around October of 2022 is when that went into effect, and it's going to be for the 2023 season.
2023 season, yep. So I was able to, my deer tag in October this past year was the last time I'll ever be able to use a scoped muzzleloader in New Mexico. And again, so many people are pissed and up in arms. I'm like, I don't care. I'm happy for it, because now I can see deer. I can see the deer population rebounding a little better. I look at draw odds too, like how many dudes are going to want to put in with an open sight muzzleloader. Now I might get more tags.
Opportunity, exactly.
Way more.
Absolutely.
I mean, my deer this year, I shot it at 212 yards with this scope setup. So I can easily shoot 212 yards with my open sights. So I'm like, it wouldn't have changed it literally wouldn't have changed anything on that hunt.
Yeah.
Selfishly, I do wish some more Western states would just go to open sights.
I do too.
Especially like Utah.
They all should
even though, sure, it's fun, it's great, but again, it's a single shot rifle.
It's supposed to be primitive.
Primitive,
It's
right.
supposed to be primitive.
The tag quotas and season dates are for primitive weapons. That's what it is.
Right.
And I'd love to see some more bigger, mature deer survive.
Yep.
And
Of course.
When I have that tag, if it's open sight, I'm hunting bigger deer.
Of course.
I mean, and you're talking like in New Mexico, the muzzleloader elk hunts, man, they were the second week of October. Bulls are still screaming.
Yeah, they're still screaming.
Do you really need a muzzleloader with a scope on it for an elk hunt in the first week of October in New Mexico? No, not at all. If you can't get within 100 yards of a screaming bull in the first week of October, then maybe not so much worry about your weapon as much as your
Hunting skills.
ability. Yeah, so
Otherwise, modern muzzleloader setup, just a scope difference, right?
yeah, it's same muzzleloader. Now we do have a couple units that are even more primitive, like flintlock stuff.
Oh.
And those are over on the eastern side. I'm not going to give away the units, but there's some big deer in those units, and
Gotcha.
that you need a really primitive muzzleloader for those. And
I actually love that though. That's cool.
The rule book breaks it down, really really well of what that is. But yeah, for the most part, same exact muzzleloader setup, same everything. Just can't use the scope.
Yeah, you can use inlines.
Yep.
The two states I hear talked about quite a bit, I think, that are intimidating to people that are considering getting into muzzleloader hunting are Colorado and Idaho.
Yep, Colorado and Idaho.
How do they differ? Brady, do you know off the top of your head?
Idaho, I do know it's a lot more primitive than Colorado.
When you say a lot, like, okay, so Colorado, you muzzleloader hunted Colorado,
Yep.
right? How does a Colorado legal muzzleloader differ from,
What is Idaho? You need an open source ignition system.
Colorado, you can still use an inline.
No.
Okay, so you can essentially use this same setup without a scope?
Yep, but on your bullets, they have to have some sort of. I believe you can't use sabots. Let me double check that.
In Colorado, you can't use sabots.
Yeah, you have to use. That's why I use the.
It has to be a seated bullet.
Yep. So
seated-
that's why in
a
Colorado,
seated
I use the
There's that.
what is it called? The ELR
Yeah.
power belts.
Yep.
Because they have the little what you call it, the little plastic thing on the backside of it, so it makes it legal, but you can't use sabots.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit.
So it's a distinction in the bullet.
Yep,
itself.
distinction in the bullet itself.
But other than that, an inline muzzleloader.
Inline muzzleloader.
Pelletized powder, does that matter?
You can use that. Anything goes there.
Gotcha.
But
Interesting.
like Idaho, let me just pull it up just so I make sure I'm not. To be legal,
So in reality-
peep sights, loose black powder, Pyrodex, patched round ball or conical non-jacket projectile comprised wholly of lead or lead
non-jacket.
alloy. Equipped with a flint, percussion cap, or musket cap. 209s are prohibited. And equipped with ignition system, which any portion of the cap is exposed or visible when weapon is cocked and ready to fire. So very primitive.
Gotcha.
And the whole, like I said,
Yeah. No 209 powders.
yeah, round ball.
Yeah.
So that's where you get extreme primitive.
Yeah.
But Colorado is very
You
similar
can
to Nevada.
Pretty much the setup.
Yeah, it's interesting because Colorado, I hear a lot of people be like, I don't know, I don't have a muzzleloader, that I can adapt to.
And that's how I was until I just started educating myself.
But in reality, I mean, to get to a Colorado legal muzzleloader is pretty.
Well, the tough
pretty
part.
simple.
So I've hunted muzzleload Colorado a lot and Nevada a lot. The difference of having a jacketed projectile is it makes a massive difference. So in Colorado,
accuracy.
yes, like
Okay.
massively. So a lot more range work and weapon familiarity and projectile familiarity with Colorado. Like not being able to seat it in a jacket and have it perfectly sat in there every single time. It's a world of difference, honestly, coming from Nevada to
Right.
Colorado. Like
Gotcha.
I have a Colorado specific
Yep.
muzzleloader.
Yeah, but in essence, it's the same muzzleloader. The biggest difference is just in your bullet.
Yeah, projectile.
Your projectile.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I know I just finished Colorado App Strategies, and you look at the available hunts for muzzleloaders, just like you're saying, man, there are a ton of
That's why I do it
a
out
ton
there.
of options.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is.
Tons of mule deer and elk options for muzzleloader.
And antelope.
And antelope.
That's what become one of my favorite
don't
hunts
forget
is
antelope.
muzzleload
Yeah.
antelope.
Oh yeah, there's some good tags. next year
Open
for that.
sight, muzzleload antelope in Colorado has quickly become one of my favorites.
What bullet weight?
300 grains.
300.
Yep.
How much powder?
115 by weight of Blackhorn 209. So, and I'm pushing probably. Let me pull it up so I don't say the wrong thing.
Yeah, that's what's cool too, because Blackhorn 209 is legal in Colorado.
Yeah.
For
Yes,
like your
it is.
normal pelletized powder, you can't use smokeless.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Blackhorn 209 is pretty much a standard in a lot of muzzleloader setups.
Yeah.
I mean that's the go-to.
That's pretty much the go-to
It is.
standard.
Yeah. So my muzzle velocity is 2480.
Okay.
So it's still
Holy shit!
it's moving pretty good still. 300 grains. Like it's a lot of whoop ass when it hits something. But it's still a muzzleloader bullet, so the blood trail is not that great, and
Yeah, I was going to ask you about
Yeah.
that. I hear that a lot.
yeah,
Why? One hole?
I don't know if it's because it doesn't mushroom as well. I don't know the theories behind it. I know I have had trouble with blood trails with muzzleloader. Cody's bull. I don't think that thing had a blood trail at all, but it fell right in front of us. So I know my bull in New Mexico didn't have much of a blood trail at all. Deer, I shot my deer 3 times. That was kind of rough.
Rough go.
Yeah, the first shot, it was I was in a really steep canyon. There was a ton of oak brush. Really had good shots. I think I was really unstable. I was shooting off a tripod. Shooting a muzzleloader off a tripod's not easy. This one doesn't kick really that bad, but it kicks enough to where
it's got
when
recoil.
you're sitting leaned down on an angle on a slope on a tripod, it kicks enough to kind of mess you up. So the first shot I hit a little far back. He came embedded kind of right in front of me, and it was like 212 yards. So but just the angle was insane. So when he bedded again, I hit him fairly good, like kind of right at the shoulder, kind of right, high shoulder. And then my third shot, I finally plugged him right, like just right in the heart. But I don't know what it is about muzzleloader bullets. There was no blood anyway. I mean, granted, the whole time I'm watching him eat, and I'm reloading. I reload pretty quick, so I reload, get set up, shoot again. And I'm like, man, this dude ain't dropping. So finally, that third shot, he died. But yeah, no blood trail, and
the impact performance.
It's just not there.
These Sabots
it's still a muzzleloader, and that's what I say. Like, even with the scoped muzzleloader, I don't know that I'm gonna ever shoot past 500 yards. Now this gun is capable of 700 to 800 yards with a scope, but I just don't feel the need to.
Yeah. From
my infield data and my in like the tangible results of shooting animals with it, I think I'm gonna stay at 500 with a scope and 300 tops with open sight.
Yeah.
Are you holding on a shoulder on a muzzle, or are you going to hold off?
So it to me, it varies on the angle. For what I've done, I have held right on the shoulder, but I do know that sometimes I'll yank. I can have a tendency to yank the trigger. I know that when I pull, the way I pull, if I'm in a really weird spot sitting, I am always going to pull to the right. So I will aim to account for my own insufficiency in the trigger pull that I'm gonna.
Yeah, we need to work on that.
I do need to work. It's only muzzleloaders.
Huh?
I tend to kind of have a weird yank with muzzle. I don't know if I'm anticipating I don't have target panic. I think sometimes with the muzzleloader, I just kind of get a little sloppy because it's still just it's not something I've done a ton of.
Yeah.
Is trigger work a thing with muzzleloaders?
Yeah,
same. I mean, you working your triggers over aftermarket triggers.
Yeah,
yep.
I have same trigger in my rifle, the Trigger Tech, and I have it same. I think I'm set at like 2 pounds.
Yeah, I'm at a pound and a half on my Trigger Tech on my muzzy. So I like a light trigger. I mean, some guys are going to go opposite of that. They like a stiffer one because it eliminates target panic in a way. But I just like barely being able to put my finger on it, pressing that thing and having it go off. Same thing we always talk about the rifle.
The trigger.
Pressing, not pulling.
Now, my first shot with the muzzleloader is usually always spot on. It's my follow-up shots because you've now made a shot.
Yeah.
And you're like, shit, I need a follow-up shot. And you're like, shit, I got a muzzleloader, and I'm trying to get all my tubes and my powder and load real quick.
What do you think your reload time would be? Dropping powder down, dropping bullet, pushing that ramrod down?
I'm under a minute and a half for sure. Yeah.
And I see on yours, you run your ramrod attached.
Yep.
Do you pull it off before you take a shot, or do you keep it on there and sight it in with it on?
I do it with everything on there.
Okay.
I'm afraid of leaving it behind. So.
Okay, so I'm the opposite. So mine muzzleloader looks more like a rifle. I don't have a ramrod attached at all.
So you have the collapsible.
I have a collapsible fold up because I just think in my head I am losing a bit of accuracy because that stuff's vibrating.
Yep.
It's on the barrel. It's impacting barrel harmonics, all that stuff. So I will never have one on.
Brady's a very detailed guy.
He is, yeah.
For anybody who doesn't know.
If I can think about it, messing with my head,
Yeah.
I'm not going to shoot it. So that's what I see on mine. Like I don't have, 1-600 at all.
Interesting.
And I do my same, and I know you do the same thing. Brady's a super methodical dude. When I put my funnel in and dump my powder and then stuff the bullet, when I pull my ramrod, that's when I know to pull my funnel as well. When my ramrod's coming out, I grab the funnel, pull it all out. Funnels go back in my little marsupial pouch, everything, and then the ramrod goes right back in, and that's the way I've always done it. So I just kind of stick with
that's your
my
process.
consistent.
You legit have to have a process when you're shooting muzzleloaders.
Absolutely.
Like when we did that muzzleloader challenge last year, I took note of exactly how you do it, and you did exactly like I did. You do not talk to people.
Nope.
You literally are solely focused. Okay, I put the powder in. Okay, now I put the bullet in. Now I push it down exactly how it has to go, the exact squeeze, because that's where it can impact your accuracy as well. Like if you're not seeing that powder down the exact same every single time.
You
have that line there because that will even impact how you're shooting, because then that's a little bit gap in the powder. That powder's going to ignite. It's not going to ignite the same every single time, and then your bullet's not going to fly as accurate.
So let me ask your opinion. The old ramrod throw. You see people they'll dump their powder, seat their bullet, push it down in, and then they like to throw that ramrod.
Oh no, buddy! You're like, look at these bullets.
Yeah,
like these things are tipped.
I'm curious, but you've seen that.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I have a certain jag. I have a spin jag on there, so it's spinning around it. That goes down and does not compress the tip of my bullet, because I don't want a flat one like you see on a round ball to compress that bullet. Everything has to be perfect to me. But that's what we're saying too. Like when you're doing this, like that's how you can get double charges.
Yep.
If you're not fully paying attention, you're heat of the moment, you load the powder. Oh, now I'm going to talk to my buddy at the range field, but hey, did I put my powder in? Oh, no, I didn't put my powder in. And you're dumping another load of powder. Now you just double charge that sucker. Now that thing is a bomb waiting to go off, like a legit bomb. And that's where it gets scary. Sometimes I've done it before where I've done it perfectly. But I'm like, did I dump it? And I will just pull out the breech plug and I will just dump that powder everywhere.
Same.
Just because for some reason in my head, did not know exactly what I did. I'm not going to trust it.
And that's why I drew with the silver Sharpie there on the end, because if I stick that ramrod down and that line is not at the same spot every single time,
because that's also
the breech plug
the best tip, because you can throw that back down there to double check everything, and that's also, like I said, you seeing the powder to the same every single time.
To Trail's question, so I have a seed mark on my Colorado muzzleloader. I have a seed mark on my ramrod as well, and I'll stuff it in until that seed sits just right. But then I have the jag or the cone. I have a little coned ramrod, so it doesn't press the actual tip of it. It actually sits down a little bit off the tip. But I'll just pick it up like an inch or two and just drop it twice, just to give
it's just your style,
a little vibration in there, and then that's when I know
a little tip tap.
A little tip tap. So I'll just pull it out. That seed will come out 2 inches, and I don't throw it. I don't do any of that. I just kind of drop it a little more vibration into that bullet, and
I've even done
that's my process.
One step further.
Only twice.
You have the silver Sharpie. I do the silver Sharpie, but then I also take a knife and will scribe into that.
That's a good idea.
That's what
you probably have the same thing.
I did that.
In case that silver Sharpie thing ever gets worn out from the rain or whatever.
I need to do that.
Yeah,
that's
I scribed it and then silver Sharpied around it.
Yeah. So like all that stuff, just
and then stuff like this too, painting with fluorescent nail polish on the globe sight. I just have muzzleloader. I get insane with the process, because I'm just like, it's got to be the same every time. And
we've talked about the process a lot. And archery and muzzleloader is insanely important. And then we talked about with rifles. I think people just it's a rifle. I don't need you still got to have a process.
Yeah.
I just think the process should get more detailed as you go from rifle to muzzleloader, archery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is a process for sure.
Even the same thing. Like I won't put a primer in until I'm
it's
legit ready to go.
Yeah.
Muzzleloader's pointed in the right direction. Everything's dialed. Like
you don't walk around with your gun with the primer loaded.
No.
That's a hard no, huh?
Hard no.
You don't stomp
no, buddy.
the dark timber primer loaded.
I don't ever walk with a primer loaded, a bullet chambered, or an arrow knocked ever.
Yeah,
agreed.
Are you crazy like me? Do you weigh yours out by weight, or you go by volume on the powder?
By weight.
Yeah, by weight.
Does it matter there, weight or volume, as long as you're following the same thing every time?
I don't think volume is as accurate as by weight.
Because they can look at the tube, like you can put that up to the volume, and it could be a little bit higher, but you're not going to know. And you tap it, and it might settle it down a little bit.
Yeah.
So like it's hard for me, but like volume is what everyone used to go by back in the day. But I still will use my lab scale that I use for my rifle setup to weigh it out to exact tenth. I know exactly what the grain is going to be. But then if you're talking about muzzleloader charges, and that's where it gets scary on the internet, you say, oh yeah, I do 109 grains, but you don't say by weight or by volume.
Yeah,
that could be very different and very scary if someone's going to try to copy your exact load when theirs isn't set up for doing that. So it's like, that's why you have to say 109
that's
grains
where we go back to that
by weight.
Bad information and being assured of your craft. And should you have an Instagram page teaching people if you've never done this? I don't know.
I've just done it by volume, but then I've never taken a shot over 100 yards with a muzzleloader.
Yeah, so it's like I'm just trying to be psycho and like try to take out all those random variables and inconsistencies and try to make it better, and just try to even like cleaning process. I clean the exact same every time, just to like make sure everything's well seasoned.
Let's talk about cleaning. What's the?
I know this is a black hole. I feel like the cleaning of the muzzle.
Yeah, tell me your process for cleaning.
Here?
So cold bore. Do you when you go into the field to hunt? Are you putting one round down chamber?
I'm just putting one round down, and some people might do it differently and just say you might just have to shoot one primer down it, and that could be good as well. I could season it, but I will do my whole cleaning method with the patches and some like goop stuff. Can't remember exactly what it's called. There's some CVA stuff, and just put a little patch down there, and then do like a little dry patch, and that's it. And then I shoot once.
You shoot one round,
then
load,
and
or
then
no load. Before you said you don't put a bolt. You don't when you're out hunting. Do you only load your gun when you see an animal?
No, so I do the powder and bullet and everything. I just never do the
okay.
primer.
Not a
Primers
primer.
in my little
Gotcha.
tube in my
Yeah,
pocket right here.
I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, but then I guess the other thing too that I want to discuss. So like, how long do you trust that in there? Let's say you're hunting and we load it the first day, opening
It's
day.
on the weather.
I know.
Yeah.
So like, what if we get some rain on our hunt and it's day 4 and that sucker's been down there for 4 days? You pulling it out?
Yeah, pulling.
That's the same thing I'll do.
Yeah.
You're just gonna burn that and dump it out, or if you're in an area where you can take a practice shot, I might take a practice shot. Or something.
Yeah.
But I don't quite trust it, even though I tape my barrel, all that stuff, like all that moisture getting in there could affect the powder, and that powder's been sitting there for 4 days.
Have you ever had one not go off?
No,
I haven't either.
I've
I
had
have
one.
my old muzzleloader.
I've had one. There's a term for it. I always forget when you pull the trigger and it takes a second to go off.
The delay.
Hang fire.
Yeah. Hang
Oh,
fire.
really?
Hang fire.
Yeah.
I've had that happen to me.
That's
in
pretty
Nevada.
common with those. Oh, what are they? Not the CVAs. What are the big?
Thompson.
Yeah, I think those. have
the old
had-
Knights in this, maybe.
So my Night Ultralight. I've had one hang fire, but it was at the range. That was the only time I ever did it.
Yeah, I had one hang fire in Nevada on a hunt.
It
The
was
only
pretty,
time.
pretty unnerving, I think.
yeah,
It wasn't like a massive
It was
hang
just-
fire. It
just
was like a
enough
half
delay.
a second,
Yeah.
but just enough to like, and then get
Yeah.
kind of like, what the hell in my head, and then
kaboom.
went off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scared the shit out of me,
Yeah, that
obviously,
would.
but like wasn't one of those scary ones where it's seconds and you start manipulating actually where the barrel's pointed before
Right.
it goes off.
but that's like even though when I'm loading the primer modules, 'cause I'm using the Arrowhead, the Gen 2,
Yeah.
breech plug system. Like when I'm loading the primers into the primer modules, I am not touching those primers with my hands. I'm not getting any oil on it. I take those primer modules, I put them in a tube like that, so they're all by themselves, and I Ziploc that bag. Like,
The hell is he talking
Trail
about?
and I are looking at each other.
Primer
like,
module?
Holy shit.
Here you
Yeah.
go,
You're
right
talking
here.
the actual like little casing.
yeah, so
Oh.
here's a primer module. So he does the exact same thing. So I'll take with the Blackhorn 209 tube, and you have these little primer modules, and you can seat your primer down in the module. And so while I'm seating
What
that,
are you calling the module? The
the little brass,
the brass thing around it.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is your primer.
that's the primer. Yep.
This
So-
is your module.
module. Yep. So that's set up perfectly, and I seat those to the exact thousandths of an inch. I have its little primer thing at home. I can see it to exactly the same every single time. I don't do it by feel. I do it by exact measurement. So I measure out exactly how far down from that top of that module that I'm seating it, and I've tested that by shooting zero. Which same thing I do with the rifle, and so that way I don't touch anything with the oils, and I'm very careful. Even like right now, I feel bad that I'm holding this thing right now
I
because I'm
just
not
touched the
trying
end
to
of
touch
it.
it.
Just
But I-
you might want to put that one in the.
It's
That's
good.
mark down with a Sharpie and say, "Hey,
That's
Trail,
the range
Trail
tube.
mess that one up."
It's the range.
Brady's
tube now.
details never cease to amaze me.
I just buy mine at.
At Ace.
Yeah, I mean they
Shoot.
come in the little cart where you slide them out. You know.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
So I think all those little things don't matter when you're talking about consistency and with the muzzleloader, because I'm trying to pump out as much accuracy as I can.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
And that's why I weigh everything out. That's why, like right here in front of me, I have my little book here. Like I've always heard me talk. Every single one of my guns has a notebook. I write down all the specs of exactly what it is, what my trigger weight is, what my specs are, where I Loctited things, where I didn't Loctite things, how far I'm pushing that ramrod down. I have a measurement from the ramrod down if I ever lose that. Silver Sharpie marker, how I load the
deep?
modules, what the bullet weight is, when I'm using these, I have to swedge these bullets on my 45 cal and like size them to my barrel even. Like all those little things, I track it all in here and track every single shot down my muzzleloader just like I would a rifle, because that's all data I'm collecting to then make my future shots.
What is that bullet?
What's this? The Arrowhead?
It's the Arrowhead NSR.
Yeah.
300.
So that's the no sizing
No
required.
size required. Yep. So I don't have to swedge anything.
So, yeah.
He has them built per. I think this is a Brooks barrel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he has them sized right for that. And Luke's really awesome. Of Arrowhead. He's a super smart dude.
Yeah, if you want to geek out and think I'm talking
smart
geeky,
dude, yeah.
talk to Luke.
Muzzleloader guy.
Yep.
Yeah, Arrowhead.
Engineering background. Extremely talented individual. It's been a lot of fun being friends with him and learning all about his muzzleloaders and his methods. And yeah, it just once I got like I'm gonna get into muzzle hunting. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go all in on a muzzleloader. I don't know. I don't half-ass anything. So
That's what's great, because like we did that competition. If you guys haven't seen it, what was that video called?
the muzzleloader shootout.
Yeah, the muzzleloader. What shoots best? Muzzleloader challenge.
Yeah.
So we did that one. It was probably last year about the same time.
I think it was last spring.
Yeah, we went out to the desert and did a little open sight muzzleloader challenge, and we put my I call it, what do you call it? Semi-custom setup. Cause I have a Paramount Pro Colorado 50 cal and I have done a lot of custom accessories to it. Put it up to your fully custom Arrowhead system here. And we had a little 100-yard challenge, which was really fun. And
who won?
Of course, the fully custom guy. But I was pretty darn close.
Yeah.
How close?
We need to do it with the same gun.
We need details
Yeah,
here. How close?
Yeah. We had our friend Whitey. He had a non-custom setup, which totally works.
Yeah,
great. You kill a lot of deer with it. He's probably killed more deer with that than ours.
You mean trailinized setup?
That's what I shoot a Thompson Center. I've got a Thompson Center. That's the only muzzleloader I own. So it's just basic.
I think he just has that basic CVA, like break open.
Yeah. And we were cheating too. We all had bipods and, full dialed setups.
That's what I've got. Open sights.
I think he even had pelletized.
Yeah, he did.
So we're all measuring ours out. So, we laid down, we forgot a freaking tape measure, which sucked. But we were trying to, do our best measuring in. I think you might have beat me by like a half inch or something like that at the end. But pretty darn close. We were doing 100 yards with an open sight muzzy. It'd be fun to, we were talking the other day, we almost need to do that again.
The scopes.
Like go out there and do either scope setups or also shoot the same gun.
Yes.
Right.
That's the problem though too. Like Blackhorn 209 is literally impossible to find. So I feel bad going out there just burning stuff for science.
I've got a good stockpile right now, but I'm like, oh,
can't find it.
You can't. No, it's impossible.
And if you do find it, it's like $70 as opposed to.
And they went down from what? They used to be 10-ounce jugs down to 8 ounces now.
8 ounce now.
And you can't find that,
inflation.
5-pounder. You can't find a 5-pounder. I've never seen one.
No.
Interesting.
So I really want to do it again, but I think we each need to shoot each other's gun because at that point you're just trying to figure out, what the gun and the shooter is better, which right now is just the gun in a sense. But that was a fun.
It was a blast. It was.
I'll have to do it again.
Awesome.
And we'll bring out ours.
Yeah,
See how we stack
here's the thing: is I hear you talking. You hear 500 yards, I would never dream of taking.
No.
It's just because I haven't practiced and I don't have a setup for it. I just haven't put the
Off
time.
the top of my
attention.
head, really thinking through it, I think the furthest shot ever with the muzzleloader for me is 140 something.
100 is pretty much.
Now that was all range stuff, right?
Yeah.
And Cody had never shot this gun prior to the range, and I feel like. What'd you shoot? 500, 550 on that steel plate with open sights and 545. And so the gun is really impressive because he had got behind the gun. He had no time behind the gun and was able to hit steel at 545 with open sights. I mean, the gun's just, it's impressive. Well, I'm not saying Cody sucks or anything. He's a good shooter.
It's the Indian, not the arrow.
Yeah. It's an impressive gun.
Price wise. If somebody
I was going to ask if you don't mind.
Me too, if you don't mind.
Here we go.
Don't turn that.
Oh.
Did you turn it?
No.
Okay.
If somebody wanted to get into something that's fully custom like this versus something like this, which is just semi-custom.
I say semi-custom.
Semi-custom. Yeah. And then just your basic run-of-the-mill, you walk into a sporting goods store and buy a muzzleloader. What are you talking as far as price range?
So my setup right here, I believe, everything on it, and I think the bipod's even included in this price. I think my CVA Paramount Pro, $2,200.
What?
That's fully ready to go.
Fully ready to go.
2,200.
Yep, and that's not included all the powder.
No,
that's not included all the bullets.
What
primers.
aftermarket do you have into this setup?
So I have a aftermarket. Well, it's pretty much all aftermarket except for the barrel and the stock.
Okay.
But I have the so I have a Burris Picatinny rear base on here. So that's just a little Picatinny rail mounted on here. It's really small.
With your sight?
And the sight is what is that? It's
the same one I have.
NECG N106 Weaver style peep. So I can adjust elevation up, left or right, and it has a little disc in here. And I have there's different size discs I can drop in to align it with my front peep. My front peep's just that Williams front globe with the lee shaver and the little crosshairs in there. And I don't have mine painted right now, but normally I have mine painted.
Gotcha. And that's a really good sight too. Like you don't need anything crazy like this. Yeah, I shoot that on my night ultralight. That same.
Yep. So I cannot adjust any of mine. So I'm just dialing it into whatever I have mine sighted in for, dead on at like 150, I think, and he can actually dial. Yeah. So I'm just trying to figure out where I can I feel like I can shoot probably 225. Fairly accurate with my rifle before I can't see in the front globe anymore.
So you have this sighted in at 150 yards, and that's stationary set.
Yep.
What happens if you're taking a shot at 50?
You're
just hammer.
dead X where you want to hit, or are you
so
holding low?
I'm gonna hold a little bit low, but still
little
gonna
bit.
hammer it. Yeah.
And then anything over 150, if you were to take a 200-yard shot, you just hold over.
Yep, I have another little crosshair below mine. I have the crosshairs as the one in the center, and then one down
you have
below.
a
And so I can sight both or use that second one and figure out what that yardage actually is for the perfect for my exact charge weight.
Gotcha.
And then in the front, I just have a what is it? What's my brake?
Cool.
Oh, LR Customs MZ Rex 2 muzzle brake. So it's a giant.
It's one of the coolest looking brakes I've seen.
Yeah, it's a giant 4-port.
The Rex too.
Yeah, and
That's
so
why you
like
like it.
Looks like a big square rattlesnake head.
T-Rex.
So I think muzzle brakes are kind of interesting when you throw them on muzzle loaders because a lot of guys either just make fun of them or they don't realize that you actually need one and it's beneficial. But if you've never shot a muzzle loader, you shoot one without a brake on it, it sucks.
I couldn't even imagine shooting one.
It is effing brutal.
Yeah.
So right when I got this muzzle loader a couple years ago, or I think it's 4 years ago now, I was breaking in the barrel at the range, and my gosh, I had a bruise at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I'm just getting destroyed. So I tossed a muzzle brake on there. I can now track my impacts a little bit better.
So you like the muzzle brake on
and I can sit down
muzzle
there and I'm comfortable now. Where now I'm not going to flinch. Where I think before, if you're going to shoot a muzzle loader, you're probably going to flinch a lot, and it might develop a lot of bad habits. So like, just getting comfortable behind it. And like I said before, I have the Arrowhead Gen 2 breech plug system in here because it's going to just tighten down the tolerances again, a lot less, blowback from all the gases.
That adds the bolt, right?
Nope.
Is that part of it?
Yeah, it's part of the bolt. Yep. So I'll pop this off here. Try talking to the mic as I'm doing it. So basically, I had to pop off the standard part of the bolt here, and then have the Arrowhead adapter built onto it. So those little modules, we'll pop those little modules off. We'll just toss it in mine.
Is that
here.
something you could do yourself? You did yourself.
I did it myself. Yep. And you have to time it, so it is a little bit of work. You have to do some wrench work and try to figure it out exactly because I want to make sure this is positioned correctly, so I can drop this in on the side. And if you don't do it right and you have this over here, you're not going to be able to get it in. So when this bolt is in the muzzleloader, I can just slide the adapter right in there, and then that's going to go forward, and I twist it down. That distance right here is perfect based on everything. And so you can get some tools from Luke when you do it, or you can just go to a hardware store and get the right.
Does he do that for people?
You can do it for people.
You can send him your muzzleloader, and he'll put it on for you.
He'll put it on, but. Again, I like to tinker, as
I know.
knows.
I'm thinking of me. In my back of my head. I'm not going to do that.
Tinker, so
I got other stuff I want to tinker on.
Again, you definitely don't need a lot of this extra custom stuff, but again, it's a muzzleloader to me, and I want to pump as much accuracy, like I already said a million times. So I do like doing more of this custom stuff and trying to figure out what's going to work best for me in my setup. And so that's pretty much it. And I shoot Blackhorn 209, 109 grains by weight with the Power Belt ELR with a 330s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With Federal 210 match primers.
So you're into that $2,000 though.
$2,000, yeah.
I mean, it's a chunk.
It's a chunk of change.
No question.
That's more than I would consider, paying for muzzleloader. So that's
Yep.
interesting.
And I
was just curious.
And I do like shooting off a bipod, so I'll still use my same rifle setup, my MDT Skypod.
You got a Picatinny mounted on the bottom.
Front. Yep. So it's a light setup, but then I throw the bipod on there. It adds a bunch of weight. But again, if I'm going to be hunting with this thing, I'm going to want to sit down and take the best shot possible. It's a muzzleloader, so I have to do my due diligence to the animal by getting close enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Because again, muzzleloaders are not rifles. Like things can go wrong on them. So
you can stretch them out on the range, but once you get into the hunting scenario,
well, that's why I
totally
appreciated what you said earlier. Like you have all this set up and you have all these things on it, and you can shoot it that far at the range. But a muzzleloader still does muzzleloader things at long distance. Yep. I think a lot of people need to take that into account.
Yeah,
because you step into a tag in Utah or pre this year in New Mexico, it's like, oh yeah, I'm all good. I can see him in the scope. I can see exactly where I'm holding. But at the end of the day, muzzleloader does muzzleloader things.
right.
Yeah, and that's why it's like if you're going to buy a custom setup from anyone, I don't care what custom muzzleloader gun maker you got. Like they claim, oh yeah, I can shoot 500 yards out of the box. Like, well, it could do that, but can you do it? Like you have to take it to the range.
Can you do it? Is the conditions correct? I mean, you're talking 300 grain bullet. It's a big bullet. There's a lot going on when this leaves the muzzle to the animal between the two. So.
Yeah, and then you got wind to throw in there. You got other atmospheric conditions that can affect your bullet. Like you realize,
rain affected it a lot more than I thought it would. That was one thing that kind of opened my eyes. It was in a piss downpour in New Mexico and on an elk hunt, and it changed a lot of things shooting. It definitely changed a lot of things.
I've always heard that anecdotally, that the rain really affects muzzleloaders.
Yeah, just more moisture in the air.
Yeah, I've always heard that.
Yep. Yeah, I think, it changed a lot.
I've never shot one in a downpour,
I don't
Yeah,
know that I
never
would
have.
recommend it. I mean, you're fighting keeping powder dry, keeping everything closed and clean, and when you finally get that, and you can't do anything about it. It's raining the entire hunt, and sun up to sundown all night.
Yeah.
Hurricane rains, and it's like, do you just sit in the tent or
No.
do you still go hunt? No, you still go hunt.
What do you do with your barrel in the rain? Do you have a case you keep it in? Do you
I
put
just
a barrel
cover it.
topper?
Yeah, sometimes I'll use electrical tape, or there's like a balloon thing that I like to use.
Yeah, the balloons are really good.
Yeah, but I keep ripping mine, so I need to figure out what I'm doing out there.
I'm an electrical tape guy. That's
I'm
my-
electrical tape,
my
and I use the
go-to for
gunslicker.
everything.
Yeah, gunslinger.
That's like-
Oh, yeah,
tape.
I need to get one of those.
'Cause I like the gunslicker too for a muzzleloader because it's going to protect all this breech area as well. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
that's a
want
good
that
point.
getting the moisture in it. And I'm also trying to avoid taking it in and out of a hot or cold environment. Like I might not even take it in my tent if it's snowing or raining out or whatever. I'm muzzleloader hunting. Like I'm just gonna let that sucker sit
Do you
outside.
pull the tape off to shoot?
I always will, even though in my head, even though I've tested it, we've done videos on it, and it will blow it off every single time because that pressure is going down that barrel, and
Yeah.
it'll
Blows
take
it
the
out
tape
the
off.
end.
But if I have
I'm
time
paranoid about it. So.
and
Pull it
it messes
off.
with my head, I'm gonna rip it off. Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
So Brett, so you're 2200 in. What's this setup, Ryan?
Oh boy. Well, open
Does
sights.
your wife know?
Open sights. Probably about $7,900 with this Night Force on it. It's right at 10.
So let's take the Night Force off for now, so we can talk through it like Brady's gun. So 7+,
About
Right.
$7,900. Yeah,
so almost 8.
almost $8,000.
Like at a high level, to somebody who's not as smart as you two when it comes to this shit, what is the difference between 2200 and that 7900?
Well, as far as our muzzleloader challenge goes, just a few MOA apparently.
Just a little bit, but the thing he's getting a little bit more. The barrel is built for the bullet, or the bullet's built for the barrel. Like it's perfectly aligned. Like everything's dialed. It's like more
It's like a
custom
nice
barrel.
pair of boots.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
very custom barrel.
Yeah.
It's a very solid action.
Everything. It's it's sitting on a Remington 700 action. The Night Force MOA 20 MOA rail. It is purpose built and completely engineered around its own bullet, and I think that's what you get.
Yeah. Would you think this? So you guys shot same conditions, same time, same everything.
Yep.
But if you guys were out actually in the moment, like actually, being purpose driven through a hunt, climate was changing day by day. The actual setting of the shot was different than what you guys had at the range that day. You would think, I'm a pretty simple mind, but I would think that 7900 would buy you more efficiency, more
I think it
forgiveness,
does.
more all that stuff through those types of challenges, right?
And
Would you guys say so?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
And his is a complete system. Where like I talked about all this stuff, I added it. I had to put my own muzzle brake on there. I had to figure out what the thread pitch was. I had to align my muzzle brake on there, make sure it's locked on tight. I had to put the front globe on. I had to assemble everything. I had to do the custom breech plug in the back, the rear sight, like all that stuff I had to do. I had to take my barrel off my stock. I ground out my stock completely with a Dremel and bedded it so that way I have perfect contact between the action lug and the barrel and the stock to make sure all those tight tolerances are perfect. So I had to put a lot of extra effort into my gun to get to shoot to his level where his gun is just
In
out
that
of the box.
moment, though, right?
In that
So,
moment,
like, I
now,
totally understand that.
Yeah.
You could buy time, and
Yeah, you're buying time.
that's a very common, or that's a very understandable thing and concept in my head. But like in the purpose of hunting, I would think, being a simple mind, that this would buy you more forgiveness in the changing.
Yeah, I definitely. I've shot my Night Ultralight in the rain, and I've shot this in the rain, and I'm taking this every time without question.
So you are buying some efficiency.
You
and
are,
some
yeah.
forgiveness
You're buying
there.
some range. This, as set up right now with the Night Force scope on it and the bipod, 9.9 pounds.
Yeah,
So that for a muzzle loader, that's exceptionally light.
yeah, it is.
And so like you're buying that.
You're pushing rifle territory.
Yep. Yeah. Man, I think. Granted, like I said, I'm not going to shoot at an animal over 500 yards. But say you're in that situation where you're at 440 or 440 to 460, and it's a tough shot, and you're sitting there, say you're looking at a 400-inch bull, and you're like, man, okay, my confidence in this as opposed to just a box muzzleloader is really high.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's everything.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have a weapon that you've put some time in at the range and you're completely confident in that.
Yeah, no
it's-
question.
Confidence buys a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you can buy confidence if you will. I
Right.
mean, that sounds weird, but
No,
you
essentially,
can. You really can.
Well, you
In
can
a
just buy
weapon.
that. You can buy that forgiveness, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
you can. Nothing's perfect in hunting.
I've never
which
once
is why I
thought
love
about
it.
having a hang fire in this,
Yeah,
this muzzleloader.
that's
Not
that's what
once.
I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Like you know, forgiveness in hunting is everything in my opinion. Just because what you're dealing with, nothing is ever perfect. That's why we all love it, right?
Right.
I mean, whether it's freezing ass cold in the morning and heats up to 70 in the afternoon, like that's pretty tough climate on a muzzleloader, right? So just confidently knowing that it could hold up to that, I understand the purpose for it for
Yeah.
sure.
So you're what were you gonna say?
No, go for it.
No, go ahead.
I'd rather have you.
I'm gonna change subjects if you don't.
Oh, okay. I'm going to stay on this then. Do you remember? So we were at Hunt Expo.
Yeah.
We were walking around. I walked over to you. I was like, "You're like, hey, did you see anything cool at Hunt Expo?" And I was like, "I only saw one thing cool at the whole Hunt Expo."
Yeah.
For the life of me, I can't remember the guy's name, which I feel bad about. I don't think the guy's reached out to me yet. I really want him to reach out to me. There's a guy who was creating those front globe setups for the open sight muzzleloaders.
Right.
Do you remember what that guy's name was? Or
I don't.
'cause it was not like a real company yet. He's just like kind of
He
starting
just
up
was
out of his-
walking around with them, showing people.
Yeah, so these are a sick little front globe setup. So it's very similar to the one he has right here, but it's tricked out. Like it reminds me of an archery sight, how it had a bunch of fiber optics in there. It had a little sleeve where you could open and close allow light in or close it to make it dark. And just
And we even talked about drilling holes in the top of these to get more light in here.
Get more light. That's again, because it's so hard to see that front peep. So
You guys both have those globe sights from Lee Schaefer.
Yeah,
you
Lee
guys said?
Schaefer, yep.
Does he just have a stranglehold on these? Like
yeah, it's
he's
just like
the guy.
a super
He
solid
actually-
system.
Yeah, he's more known in like the really primitive side, I would
Really?
say. Yeah. Because I've told people, a bunch of people ask me what that is, and I tell them, oh, Lee Shaver, and they're like, what? Who?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like Lee Shaver.
Yeah.
He's really known in the muzzleloader world, but apparently.
So
but
this
yeah.
guy's gonna compete there.
Oh,
right?
he's going to
Like, got a
revolutionize it.
system?
Yeah, he's going to make some badass changes.
And
Where
you know how
have
like you have
different
your
systems.
bow sight that has the real like Spot Hog has the real fluorescent sight. Like he already has that built in. I want to say he even had elevation in the front sight.
Yeah, he had elevation front sight,
Yeah.
and like legit, it was like a pin. Like you'd have a pin come up with the fiber optic. It was that pin fiber optic, so you have a little bit of light gathering, and then it had the fiber optic coils wrapped around the outside, and you could close that to make no light, or open it up to bring more light into
Oh
it.
shit!
And then it was just a clamp system.
Yeah, so it makes it super easy. So like this one, you have to drill.
Right. You have to machine that
Machine
one
it
into the
out.
barrel, where
Yep.
his is just going to clamp right onto the barrel. It's really interesting.
So I was.
Do you guys trust that as much?
I think
clamp
I still
system?
would. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely something to think about because again, you have to reset that in because that's going to change your barrel harmonics. But then also, could that get knocked off a little bit?
That's exactly where my brain goes. Like if I'm hiking through some cliffs or up through some brush, is that going to rotate on me? And
So that's where
I
I
lay
would.
down to take a shot, and I'm like, oh crap, my sight's at 45-degree angle now.
So being the psycho that I am, I would probably take that, and on the bottom of it, I would probably drill something up and tap it, and then put a screw in there to make sure it's Loctite. I mean, it's tight on there, and then I would also use Loctite.
So even when this one's installed on mine up here on the front, I'll run electrical tape around.
Yeah.
This ain't coming off. It's got a set screw in it, but my own brain of paranoia.
Yeah, because you don't. What if you're walking through the brush and all of a sudden you catch on a tree?
Well,
and
listening
it's
to
gonna
you
rip
guys
out your-
talk about how detailed you are about everything, my mind immediately, which is not like I'm not thinking for myself here, but like listening to you guys in the detail, thinking about a clamp as opposed to something that's like actually embedded into the
Yeah,
That's a big difference.
yeah. Because right now mine's also bedded with some epoxy in the front to make
Yep,
sure mine's
same.
all super tight.
I
And
even have
this is-
shims in mine to make it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll
super
see if you
tight.
guys trust this system.
Yeah, that's why this gun for me is just my open sight.
Yeah.
Where yours you can cross over between both. Like that's also what's nice about his setup compared to mine. Like
Yeah, because if you wanted to do that with an optic,
yeah,
you're
I have to
getting
tear
another
everything
setup.
off, and then in my mind, as I'm tearing everything off, that's the
You'd
tolerance.
probably
is-
just go get a different one.
I just go get a different.
set
One. That's
it
why I
up.
do have a
Yeah.
40. I have a 45 cal setup just for a scope, and I have a 50 cal setup because 50 cal is legal.
What's
for
your
Colorado.
45 setup with a scope? What's that run?
It's gonna run on a little bit more with the scope, obviously, but the same. I have the same sort of
Call
custom.
it $3,000.
Yeah, probably $3,000.
So you got 22.
Maybe
and
three, maybe 3.5 with this.
I'm not a
the
math
scope.
guy, but
Because I have that
3 and 2
Vortex
is
LH.
5, so 5,200.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're up there to have
Up there.
that system as opposed where this one can do both.
Yeah, I can have both systems for his price of
Yeah,
one in
yeah.
a sense.
And I to me it was a total splurge, and I got a good deal on it. It was a post-deployment gift to myself. Like, I'm going to buy
Good for
a
you.
badass muzzleloader.
If anybody deserves it, it's a guy post-deployment.
But I think I'm going to get with Luke and build another one for our clients, just that we have, because I don't want to draw a really sweet muzzleloader tag and show up from
With my muzzleloader.
Tennessee with a $300 muzzleloader, and I'm like, oh, this just got real fun.
That's
for
me and
us.
Trail.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys ready?
I just got to get closer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. I know my limits
That's my
with
thought.
my muzzleloader.
Yeah, and that's
But a
my
lot
thought
of
with a
guys,
muzzleloader tag.
a lot of guys don't know their limits. Like, it's one thing if Trail shows up with a $300 muzzleloader, I'm not stressing one bit. But somebody I don't know who,
Yeah.
And then it gets in that situation like, oh yeah, I'm going to take that 300-yard shot, but they've never
and now
shot
I'm
there
chasing
before.
a bull halfway across the country
Yeah.
that is shot.
Yeah,
in
you're
this.
not
It's just
doing
my
that animal
mindset with a
justice.
muzzleload tag is it's archery extended in my mind. It's
Right.
like a very similar thought, but I'm buying myself 50, 80, maybe 100 yards.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yep. That's
Yeah,
kind of
really.
my thought process.
Yeah, to me, I'm not buying maybe 20 yards over my bow, but what I'm buying is just quickness.
You're
Like,
only 20 yards?
I mean, 100 yards. I mean, I'll take an 80-yard shot, 70-yard shot with my bow, and I'm probably 100, 110 with my muzzleloader. And again, it's just I don't put any time into my muzzleloader, but I put a lot of time into my bow. But yeah, what a muzzleloader does give me is it gives me quick target acquisition. I don't have to draw it. I don't have to
have
worry.
the body motion of actually making a move on the animal.
All my biggest deer are muzzleloader deer, and they've all been within 80 to 100.
That actually is a good distinction too, because when you break it down, when you go from a bow to muzzleload, you don't have the body motion of making a move.
Yeah, you pull up and shoot.
Yeah, it's the amount of movement is like way more concealed.
Right.
So
And
that's another
back
huge buy with a muzzleloader.
to your point on price, like what are you getting? I think like Trail talking about, yardage. I think with this one you're legitimately buying, as opposed to most of the, off the shelf Sportsman's Warehouse muzzleloaders. I think you're actually buying a few hundred yards here with this one. And that can make a giant difference on a hunt.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially in a state like Utah where you can use a scope. I would say you're buying yourself probably 400 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Which
is
crazy
a big deal.
Yeah, that's a really big deal. We have the tag of a lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've looked at bucks from 400 yards and thought that'd be sweet.
Yeah, shit, this would be awesome.
Yeah. Are there muzzleloaders that you can buy off the over the counter? You can buy them at a Sportsman's Warehouse or Cabela's or whatever it is that are you think good options like that you're aware of? Have you put much time into looking at those?
Not a whole lot. I haven't put any time. But the nice thing is you don't need an FFL for a muzzleloader.
Yeah, that's true.
You can get shipped right to your house.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You can.
I think it all goes back to how good of a hunter are you. I think me and Brady both could go kill a deer with a $200 muzzleloader.
Yeah, you're right. What's a new one run? $500?
Yeah, 500 to 800 probably.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't think they're very expensive.
No. There's a very small barrier to entry to muzzleloader hunting. I think that's why I like it. I think that's, granted, I'm sitting here with this, but my first muzzleloader was not this.
Yeah.
And I still killed deer with it. Whitey killed a ton of deer with his muzzleloader.
And I will say too, even like, we're out here in the West, but like my family back in Minnesota, the best season they have is that muzzleloader season.
Yeah.
It's after the rifle hunt. It's when those deer are more docile. Like they come out in the fields. Like they've shot some giant deer in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the muzzleloader hunt.
Yeah.
Nevada muzzleloader hunt, it's awesome dates.
Yeah, Cody just pull up some.
Then Colorado too. I mean, archery's got 9 days on you. Technically they got 9 days on you, but still.
Yeah, I love Colorado hunts.
You can buy some yardage.
Yeah.
Give the archery guys the first 9 days on top of you, and then you buy yourself some yardage, buy yourself less body movement, making a movement towards the animal.
I'm just trying to buy more
good,
tags.
It's a good deal.
That was the whole logic for muzzleloader for me is more hunts.
That was
more
my
options.
only.
Yep.
That has been my only motivation for muzzleload is just buying more tag opportunity, especially in the states that like Nevada, and there's other ones like it, but 1 through 5 choices, and they run through all 5 before you get tossed out. If you can't draw any of the archery tags, and move on to muzzleloader and move on to rifle.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very, I would say, underutilized for sure. Muzzleloader hunts. There's a ton of opportunity if you're looking to increase your draw odds. Put a permit in your pocket and still go hunting. And the barrier of entry, like you're saying, is not that high.
No, it's not.
Cody just pulled it up. I mean, like some of the most expensive top end, open sight muzzleloaders, you're talking $600, $700, up to maybe, scoped models. Looks like what, $1,200.
Looks they got a
1,800.
they have a Colorado specific
Oh, there you go.
that's
Pro
mine.
Colorado.
So that's mine. So it looks like they've
Yeah.
increased the price quite a bit.
1900 bucks, but it's Colorado ready. Got the globe sight on the front.
Yep.
That's your exact setup.
So that was the exact setup I actually purchased, but then I swapped out the rear sight. And I
CVA
swapped
Paramount
out the
Pro
front sight.
Colorado 50 caliber.
Yeah.
So my buddy Jim bought the same one off of your Cole did too. So after our video, they both went and bought your same muzzleloader.
That's actually
Yeah.
interesting.
Hammers.
CVA's making Colorado ready.
It's ready to rock.
muzzleloader. Yeah,
You don't need anything else. It all comes with the trigger type
I didn't
trigger.
know that.
$1,900.
And then what's crazy, Jim actually put his in an XLR chassis. So
Really?
he's running a muzzleloader now in an XLR chassis.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
and
boy, I'm gonna have to do that now.
Yeah.
If someone does something more badass, I gotta do the same.
It is
Look good, hunt good. You
It's
know?
pretty awesome.
Look good, hunt good.
So the collapsible stock, and that's gonna be dope for Colorado.
But even
Nice.
get back into like the regulations and stuff too. Like I highly recommend people don't say what we just discussed as hard face value. There's probably some changes on what's legal in what
Right.
states.
Oh, yeah.
And you have
Utah's talking about it.
Yeah, like you really you have to go
Utah
on
needs to talk about it. They've already made the move of pushing out elk hunts. Those rifle elk hunts.
Well, yeah, just even this like when we're talking about Idaho versus Utah versus Colorado, like go in the regulations, actually look at
Well,
it.
yeah, the
like,
shit changes. I mean,
shit changes all the
it's almost
time,
as-
and I might have misspoke on something too about one of those states because there's so many
Changes
states
like
that
the weather.
all time.
Oh, that should go without
Yeah.
saying. Anything that we say here, you should
research.
double
You should-
check.
you should double, triple
before
check
you,
it.
Yeah, before you go into the field, we just want to put that back
Well, that
out
shit
on
changes.
you.
It
You
literally
need to
changes like the
rule-
weather.
yeah.
I mean, a lot of the times we're
Read-
applying
read the
before we even
regs.
know what the final say is.
Right.
on
Yeah.
what all the
Yeah,
stuff we're going
read
after.
the
I hope
regs.
Utah holds out for me. I got my dedicated hunter tag. I'm excited to use this. muzzleloader.
So it's
Yeah.
selfishly, I'm the same way. I want one more year with
Yeah,
Utah.
one more year.
Anything goes before they might make
Yeah.
some changes. Do you?
I think
what's the
they
rumor
should.
on that.
I agree.
They're talking
Yeah, I
about
think
it.
they
They got a
should.
committee together. Sounds like in the spring they're going to chit chat about it. I wouldn't worry too much about it in the fall of this year, but maybe potentially in
My
years to
2
come.
cents. If they're pushing elk hunts back,
Yeah.
they'll start.
It
going
hasn't been
this
that
route.
long that scopes have been legal on
Yeah.
muzzleloaders because all my deer I've shot with open sights and I never put
Yeah.
a scope on.
Yeah, even
mine.
I
you were
remember
saying this deer you
Utah.
shot.
Utah went legal with a scope. What 5 years ago, something like that. Less
2016?
than 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not been that
was
long.
recent.
No,
So
yeah,
it
because
would
I
be-
remember.
yeah,
I
it would
remember
be a
when that
change.
change went into effect.
Yeah, because like I said, my muzzleloader still doesn't have a scope on
I think
it.
it
Yeah.
goes back again to everything we've talked about, just being stewards of our
Yep.
game. Like we owe it to the animals to take care of them. If we're wiping them
Yeah.
out with muzzleloaders with scopes, then maybe we should relook at it and say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
the deer population, the elk population deserves a little bit more out of
Yeah.
us. Let's restrict ourselves. And I think the hunters should have that responsibility to acknowledge that.
It's
all right,
it's
cool.
an interesting topic though, because then it gets into like the long range thing. Where
Right.
it's like, well, when are they going to start managing long range rifle shooting? Right. The difference though is like, not all things are equal.
No.
What that comes down to is just the morals and ethics of each of the
Right.
weapons that you have in your hand. Right. So it's like, okay, well, we're restricting rifles off of muzzleloader because it's supposed to be, or we're restricting optics off of muzzleloaders because it's supposed to be primitive.
Well,
right?
rifles are kind of
Dates,
anything goes.
quotas, dates, they're all set for primitive style, right?
Yeah, and I think another common misconception that people have is, rifles and long range go hand in hand. Well, they don't. And I don't think people realize how hard it is to shoot long range with a rifle still.
And that comes down to morals and ethics,
Yeah,
which
morals
is
and
where
ethics.
I think
hopefully
everybody
the people
needs
are
to
doing
fall
their
into
due
the same.
justice
Right.
and realizing their limit.
Yeah.
knowing
What are
your
you
limit.
putting out there? What are you
Yeah.
educating people with?
And just knowing like I'm never going to shoot the way Brady shoot. Like I'm never going to take a shot like Brady would, right? Like if knowing how to stay within myself, if we pulled up on an animal and it's 800 yards away, I'm not shooting. Brady can shoot that all day long. Brady's out
Yeah.
there 10
I'm not
times more than I am, 20 times. I don't even know how many more times than I am. Just like he's the guy to make that shot, and I would have full confidence in him shooting that, but I'm not. Like I'm not doing that.
Again,
You
going
know?
back on this ethics thing, what do we think about? I mean, it's not totally off topic, but the archery side, like archery, like compounds versus recurves. Like we're eliminating some stuff on muzzleloaders all the time. Are we ever going to say like, hey, in a bow we have to stop having single pin adjustable sights because they're opening the door to a lot more stuff and it's not as primitive
Well,
as
I think
what archery used to be.
I think the compound bow is set, right? Like it is.
it's still very hard to shoot a compound bow.
It's still very hard. Yeah, you're buying a ton over a traditional bow, but still, like you're still pretty set in what it is and what it does. What they have regulated though is like those Garmin zero sights, right? Like the range sights and things. So they've managed those. You know what I mean? They've managed the the tech on those, so to speak. success.
I think
right?
you look at it from a management standpoint.
Yeah.
I mean,
harvest success.
and you take all that into account.
Work your way
and you
backwards.
Make a decision.
Yeah.
We got to wrap up. Sounds like our camera's about to die.
Yeah, it's got the notification.
And this
Camera's getting hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hit us with a promo.
All right, we are in application season. If you don't know that, I feel bad for you because this is the time that you need to start doing your research to pick up some tags. So
You're a little bit behind the 8 ball, but you still got time.
yeah,
A lot of time.
and that's why it's fun talking about this. It's a good discussion. You know, probably when this will go out, New Mexico deadline will be passed, but you still have, you know, Colorado, you have Utah,
Wyoming,
you know,
Arizona deer.
Nevada. So there's a lot
Nevada.
of there's a lot of
Idaho.
opportunities in some of those states to pick up muzzleloader
Most.
tags. So definitely look into that. And if we want to give you guys a little kickback, so use promo code podcast when you sign up for Insider. We're going to get you guys 50 points back to the GOHUNT Gear Shop. That's $50. You can use spend on any gear in our gear shop. So promo code podcast, sign up, get Insider, get access to all the draw odds, filtering 2.0, Hunt Planner, which is a new tool we launched. We have Point Tracker, and we just launched today. Well, I guess when this releases, it'll be already launched, but we launched North Dakota.
That's
So
right.
we have North Dakota launched
And I
on
am
Insider.
pumped for the Dakotas.
So yeah,
Yeah.
and obviously South Dakota's going to follow. We've been
Yep.
getting a ton of feedback for all the years, and we want to show you guys. We're listening to all the feedback, so we're finally adding the Dakotas to Insider.
Yeah.
So we have full-on filtering 2.0 draw odds for all those species. We're working on some app strategy type stuff, some more strategy things to get you guys tagged. So we got a lot for you guys. So if you're not Insider, promo code podcast, sign up now, get the best research, and also coming up, you'll get GOHUNT maps as well. So
There you go.
win-win.
Thanks, Ryan, for stopping in. We
Yeah,
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
appreciate it.
Absolutely.
If anybody
Always a good
draws,
time.
draws a New Mexico tag, they can still reach out, right?
Yep, absolutely.
So you can.
Yeah, you don't have to just put in through
You
the
don't have to
outfitter
put it
draw.
through the outfitter draw.
What's the
but-
best way to get a hold of you?
Instagram and then just Google.
What's
We're
your
on-
Instagram
What's
handle?
Instagram? It's at Blackhorn Guide Service.
Okay.
Yeah, one word. And then mine's at Ryan the Creature. Oh,
Cool. Thanks for
Awesome.
popping in.
yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate you, boss.
Yeah, thank you.